Hello and welcome to the month of May. I've already fucked it up. Podcast, the Undead Gaming Cast. Every time. But it's episode 11. I didn't mess that one up. So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is a very sweary family show. In which we talk about video.
Fuck me.
Jesus, titty fucking Christ.
I've already messed it up. It's already gone Pete Tong. So welcome.
Right, okay, who's
what is that noise?
Batting a cup in a ball, but the sounds of it.
Cup in a ball. It's what I do.
Right. Do you want to start recording again, Rob?
Yes, we do that all again.
Fuck's sake.
Too many variables.
Hello and welcome back to the Undead. I don't know why I'm saying welcome back, because I messed it up again.
It is welcome back though.
Right, this time for proper.
Third time's charm.
Hello and welcome to the Undead Gaming Cast, episode 11 for the month of May. I'm Rob the Undead Gamer, and this is our monthly podcast in which myself and a few of my good friends talk about video games, the industry, and all things games related. So if you're listening for the first time, hello, welcome. I hope you enjoy the show. If you're a returning customer to our produce and product, then welcome back.
The produce aisle.
I hope you enjoy.
Produce.
So, just as a friendly reminder, we're also on iTunes finally. If you missed out last month, we're on iTunes. So if you're downloading and listening for free, then awesome. Thank you. Welcome. I hope you're enjoying listening to us in your daily business and stuff that you do. So, without further ado, let's welcome on to who is on this month's Gaming Cast. We've got pretty much a full house this month, which is amazing. It's the first time we've ever had that. Well, I think we did have that once, but when we had to re-record, we lost a few people. So anyway, without further ado, let's welcome back someone who's not been on the cast for quite a long time, since I think January, Mr. Humble Gamer. Hello, sir. How are you?
Hello, I'm fine. How are you guys?
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
I was expecting an answer then. Everyone just kind of blindly stared at him like a deer in the headlights. Like
that happens to me a lot.
So, yes, and welcome back, Mr. Naz Dragonheart.
Hello, welcome.
How are you?
I'm all welcoming you. I'm doing well.
Welcome. This is Naz's podcast as well.
We did you.
We're recording two podcasts at exactly the same time. Naz talks about worldly politics. We talk about video games.
Yes.
Amazing how closely linked those two are.
Very close.
We're talking about Gamergate again.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Yeah.
You wait till I get onto Sepp Blatter. Ooh, yeah. All the football.
All the FA Cup final, Naz.
All the FA Cup final.
Don't talk to me. I'm a Villa fan. It hurts.
So's Naz.
It doesn't hurt. It's just pain. Just constant, unrelenting pain.
Right, it's fine. Right, moving on.
And welcoming back someone who we only ever see the same picture of. He's a very mysterious man, almost like the Stig. It's Mr. Ashton Vaultier.
Oh, hello there.
How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Good, not bad. Not bad at all. And welcoming back, as per always, as per every month since this time last month, I think, nearly, Mr. SingularityJosh.
Woohoo, hello. Nearly been doing this for a year now, which is scary.
Yeah,
so.
As of next month, I think. Next month's podcast, that'll be your full year.
Post E3, and I've been doing this for a whole year.
Craziness.
So,
and welcoming back our resident live streamer, Mr. MintyLamb. How are you?
I'm alright. How's everybody else doing?
Uh-huh.
Got to ask it, it's only polite.
True, it's true. So after we've established now 5 times that I'm okay, welcome to our monthly podcast. If you're not familiar with the format of this podcast, we generally, after a welcome of everyone who's on this month, we talk about what we've been up to and what we've been playing this month in video games, which hopefully will be quite a good one. I don't know. We'll see how things go. And then we'll be moving on after a little intermissional break where there might be jelly and ice cream, depending on what your fridge supplies. Then we move on to the main topic or topics of today's podcast, and then round things off with video game releases of the following month. So, without further ado, Humble, what have you been up to? What have you been playing this month in the May times of video games?
This month, Rob, I have been playing mostly Tropico 3, going back to a bit of old school. Is that an RTS? Does that count as RTS?
Yeah,
It's probably an RTS.
Yeah, it's probably I'd say so.
Love Tropico, so good.
What else have I been playing since this? Guns of Icarus, that happened.
Oh.
Lots of Guns of Icarus happened. One of the nicest online communities I've ever been
yeah.
involved.
No, Guns of Icarus
Really
community
nice.
are really awesome.
Yeah,
I really do
brilliant.
need to get back into that game because I do sorely miss and love that game.
Yeah, you'll have to get in touch with me, Humble, as well, if you want to play at some point, because I've got it as well. So
definitely, we could have like 2 crews if we're good.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah,
Amazing.
cool.
Yeah.
I got
what
that
else
game
have I
because
been
Rod told me to get that game, and I've not played it once.
Shame on you, Ashton. Shame on you. It's amazing.
You should play
Yeah,
it,
I
actually.
should really. It
It's
looks
really
good.
amazing.
What else have I been playing? Robocraft, War Thunder, things like that. A bit of Football Manager, getting in there. Bit of Football Manager, and Alien Isolation's the big one.
Yeah, I keep meaning to watch your video. How is that? Because that's a game I'm quite
Terrifying.
interested in getting.
soul
Very scary. You forget. Excuse me. I've not played a horror game for a while since I think Outlast Whistleblower. You forget how easily scared you are by things just falling off the ceiling. Yeah. And Psychonauts. I've gone a bit retro.
Oh,
Managed to get Psychonauts on Steam. So yeah, that's a good game. That's a good fun game.
It's Tim Schafer in it. It's Double Fine.
It is. It's Tim Schafer's Double Fine Productions. They've gone now, haven't they? They don't exist anymore.
I think so.
No,
I don't know.
no.
Naz a bit
Double
of
Fine?
No, no,
Are you insane?
no.
Are you
Bro-
insane?
Broken
Probably. I
Age.
don't know.
Broken
Double
Age.
Fine, they're doing well.
Oh yeah.
Oh, all right. There we go.
They're
Actually,
doing
they
tons
released-
of things.
They released
Tons of
Custom
things.
Quest last year as well.
They are the same people that are doing Broken Age, aren't they?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're doing all sorts of things. They are very much active.
Yeah.
See, this is why it's the humble gamer. I know shit all about gaming in terms of the business of it. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing. Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Well,
There's-
I suppose we'll move on.
Yes.
Ashton, what have you been up to? What have you been playing this month?
Oh, this month I started with Dragon Age Inquisition, which is really good. Really.
I've
really
just
fun.
started getting into that because I bought it at the start of the year and just didn't start playing it, and I just started again now, and it's getting good. It's getting so good.
It is a really, really good game. I didn't expect, because I was playing Dragon Age 2 on the PS3 before I got it, and it's just a huge step up from that one. Which is like, oh, it's great. But
The
then,
problem is you
Nukem
got to get
Forever
past
was
the
a step
ball.
up from that though.
sorry, what?
Duke Nukem Forever was a step up from Dragon Age 2. I didn't like it at all.
Didn't
Yeah,
you?
but
Get on
It was
with
better than Duke Nukem. Let's be complete.
Well,
fair.
yeah, I mean, I may have been stretching the point a bit. Didn't
I think kicking around a piece of dog shit outside is more enjoyable than playing Duke Nukem.
Yeah.
But the problem is with Inquisition, you've got to get past the really boring bits in the hinterlands to get to the really interesting, cool story bits. When you
Yeah,
start
that's
like
true.
being able to pick sides between the Mages and Templars, I'm doing the Mages side of it. Oh my god, it's amazing! It's amazing.
Yeah, major size one I'm doing. Oh, it's so
Oh,
good. So good.
So good. So
The
good.
story.
So how does it
Played much
compare
of that
to? Because I've
before.
only sort of played the first Dragon Age, and I've not
Oranges.
played a lot of it. But how does it compare to the previous 2 games?
The game mechanics have changed so much in like the 3 games. Like the first one, it was very, very tactical, and it was a lot of stopping and starting. You'd like kind of aim at enemies and stuff. And then the second one, it became a little bit of tactical with a lot more hack and slash. And now this one, it's kind of got an option to do either. So you can like stop the game and then kind of plan out your attacks, or you can just go straight out hack and slash kind of thing.
I
which
did
is
that tactic stuff
really
with
nice.
Dean once.
Yeah,
Only once.
I've not used it at all.
Joker
It's
once,
just
I was
full
like,
on.
oh, that's a feature. Right, moving on.
We'll never press that button again.
That being said,
Never
though, if you
need to.
played any amount of like Mass Effect or whatever, though, I guess you just get used to it. Like that sort of like stop and start to aim your biotics at people and stuff. So I guess the players who are proper like BioWare fanatics, they'll probably just keep it ticking over on. That mode's got to stay there for people like those who use it.
Yeah, fair enough. It's really nice though. It's got a lot more open world than the previous ones.
Yeah, but you get that ridiculous point where you're going through an area that's like low level, and then you're faced with a big dragon, and it's just like, fuck,
so
big dragon.
oh my god, no. Remember, I was wandering through this one part, and I just I was like slaughtering, innocent creatures around me. And,
you monster.
And I go through this one little bit. I'm like, oh, I haven't explored this area yet, and like dragons everywhere, and all my party die. I'm like, oh great, yeah, that's fantastic. Go through one little bit, everything goes harder.
And it still gives you that RPG thing of like, oh, you're amazing. You're like the world is in your hands, everything like that. Would you mind going and doing this minor quest thing? Would you mind just picking up this bit of dog shit or whatever? Like, suppose I have to just to carry things on, just to get some XP, I guess. Sod it.
The grind is real.
Yeah, I think when RPGs do that, they just try and make you, bring you back down to earth a little bit more, make you a bit more of a humble person. To just say, yeah, you're the person that's going to save the world, but do you really think going to collect a cat is beyond you?
I love all those games though, but after I haven't played that game in so long now because I got GTA for the PS4 and that's just a standard great game that you go back.
Yeah.
And it eats away at your time. But after that, I got The Witcher, which I have not stopped playing since they released.
Just watch him really closely. He's turning green. And yes.
How is The Witcher? Because I'm desperate to play that game.
It is very, very good. I thought GTA, without a doubt, was like one of the best made games out there. Witcher, I would say, in my opinion, it's kind of like a fantasy version of GTA. I absolutely love it, and I haven't stopped playing it since that came out. Like, it's just amazing, just amazing. So yeah, when you get it, you will not stop playing it. Brilliant game.
Best RPG ever made?
I don't know. There's a lot of good RPGs out there. I haven't played Elder Scrolls Online or anything like that.
That doesn't count.
But yeah, it's my favorite RPG. But I think it's better than Skyrim, and I love Skyrim. But a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Interesting. So what are you loving about with The Witcher? What is it that have you played any of the previous games in the series or?
I couldn't really play the games in previously because my computer couldn't run them.
Okay.
I got Witcher 2 and it just wouldn't work, and I tried like my hardest. But yeah, I can't really compare to the previous games. What I like about this game is it's just so heavily story based kind of thing, and a lot of it is like you get a certain satisfaction out of knowing things kind of thing. Like you'll see a monster and you'll like at the start you just kind of hit it as you do, but then after that you learn what their weaknesses is and stuff, and then you kind of once you know how to eat the best way to take out a monster, it's I know you just get more satisfaction out of killing them, and then
there's a lot more book learning in that game.
From
very
my
tactical.
Witcher 2 was very much you had to look through the specific book to find the specific little section on the monster that you wanted to find out how to kill it, or what its weaknesses were.
I think that's nice though, because it's obviously the whole idea about being a witcher is just being a monster hunter or whatever. So it's nice that you kind of have to learn the best way to dismantle.
The thing I love most about The Witcher as a character is that everybody hates you. You're like this necessity in the world, and everybody hates you.
Yeah, you're not just like the typical good guy or the Dragonborn. Everyone loves the Dragonborn or whatever, the Dragonborn of legend, and it's a nice switch up.
You're sort of playing a very specific role in a very specific universe. So it's never kind of like, oh, I'll just create my own hero. It's like, no, you're doing what Geralt would do.
Yeah.
And it's very a lot of the stuff that you do is just completely down to your own morality. You'll say you'll do you'll kill a beast for a peasant, and they'll offer you some money, and if you can either take the money, or you can like say no, you keep the money, you need it more than I do, and there'll be no consequences for either way. Like nothing will happen. Well, some cases something will happen, but like it's just like down to like whatever you're feeling, your own kind of personal role. And so like I play it like pretty like hero kind of state that I don't want to like kill any innocent people or whatnot, but like I know that a couple of my friends will go around and just kill everything, take all the money, and just be an absolute arsehole about it. So you can play it whichever way you want, and I really like that about the game.
In the options, in the choices for that, is there a choice to say I want more money than they're offering?
Yeah, you can. You like, it's like a little mini game in the talking. You say like, oh, I want more money, and you like put the money upload, and then if you put too much up, their annoyance level goes up, and they're like, nah, mate, you ain't fucking having that.
That sounds like a slightly better version than the Speechcraft mini game that you had in Oblivion. Oh my god, that was awful.
Yeah, this is quite what the only downfall to this game that like I'm not that keen on is like in comparison to something like Dragon Age Inquisition, when you're talking, it'll come up with a little icon that'll say like what you're about to say is good or what you're about to say is bad kind of thing. But with the speech in this is that everything's very vague, and like it'll say like I don't know, one of the lines would be I'll go this way, for example, but you'll be looking at like where it is, and you'll be like, well, which way is he going, kind of thing. He's just said I'll go this way, and you'll click on it, and he'll say this, I'll go this way to the south, and you're like, no, I wanted to go north. Like, what the fuck? Why would you say that? But it doesn't tell you that until you click it, so it's a bit like it's just you just kind of have to trust your own judgment in like when picking things, because a lot of it isn't very clear.
I suppose though in that it makes it a bit more unpredictable, which you could argue is a good thing. Maybe keeps it fresh, doesn't really hold your hand, which by the sounds of it, The Witcher 3 doesn't.
No, but it's just like little things. Like I did this one mission where I was helping out this man, and he was doing like a spell, and then these other guys came along and were like gonna stop him doing it, and I wanted to help the man, and when it came up with a speech option, it was I'm not getting involved, or this line which was like leave them alone. Now I didn't know which one it said leave them alone to, kind of thing. Like I thought it would say leave them alone to the other guys, but what it actually says is leave them alone to the man I wanted to help. So it's like, I don't know, like it's just frustrating when you click something like that and it's like, for fuck's sake, I didn't want to say that. If it had more, speech options, then I might have figured it out. But
or slightly clearer ones, then
yeah. If the only thing I wish it had is a bit of a I don't know, like a symbol next to it to say like what you're doing.
Yeah.
But apart from that, I can't think of anything wrong with the game. It's a really,
the combat's a bit gash in it, and some of the videos I've seen, it doesn't quite have the niceties of modern combat.
It's not like a smooth, you mean?
It's not. It doesn't look smooth, and it doesn't sound like very nice. It doesn't sound like you're properly hitting things. It just sounds like you're sort of hitting stuff with wood.
Yeah, that's true. No, it's not
in the game.
It's not as beautiful as I thought it would be. Like I saw all these gameplay things, and like the world looked amazing, but on the console PS4 graphics kind of thing, it's not as amazing as I originally thought. But it's a game. I'm not there for the graphics. I'm there for the gameplay, kind of thing.
Best way to be.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah.
Awesome.
That's what I've been doing.
Good. Sounds fun. So moving on, I guess. Naz, what have you been up to? What have you been playing this month?
Well, I've lost a week to Final Fantasy 10.
Uh-huh.
Literally, the week has just gone. just flow with it. I said, I don't know what's to be said about that game that hasn't already been said. Really.
Oh, we've lost Naz. Any chance anyone can add Naz back to the call?
I don't have Naz, so
I shall add him back in.
Okay, I suppose whilst we're waiting for Naz to come back, maybe if we Minty, what have you been playing? What have you been up to?
All different games. Different games. My last one I just played was Plague Inc., which I uploaded to the channel, which is an awesome, fun game.
Yeah.
I destroyed the world. I played it on the easy version on the video, but I've enjoyed trying to wipe out all humanity because humans suck. Becoming some bacteria, changing the virus, and then, spreading across the world. It's a very fun game. Other than that, I've been playing the How to Survive Storm Edition or something like that on the Xbox One, which is quite a fun one. It's a zombie apocalypse game because that's what I play. So on that one. Yeah, pretty much half my channel. Well, no, I say half. It's a lot more than half. Is all zombie or apocalypse related. But that one's quite fun. You go on different islands, create stuff with a workbench and shoot zombies and follow a storyline. It's quite a fun game.
Cool.
Other than that, I've been playing State of Decay. That was another one.
Yeah.
The Xbox One edition for that one, the Year One edition, which has got the other DLC with it. I played through on the stream. I'm playing the normal game, but off stream I've been playing the DLC Bloodlines, I think it is,
Lifeline.
which is Bloodline as well. No, Lifeline's
Lifeline. I thought Lifeline was the military one.
Is it?
Yeah, that's what you said to me the other day.
Probably is then. I don't know. Whichever one's the military one. You build up your military camp, get loads of guns. It's nothing like it is. Although it's still the same game. The DLC for the soldier one, which is probably Lifeline, is very much more gun focused. So you shoot the zombies a lot more, which is cool. The melee kind of fucks you up quite quickly when you're fighting the juggernauts and stuff. So lots and lots of guns and grenade launchers and things like that. It's quite fun. And they also added the bonus of in the game you can put supplies into the vehicle and drive them back. Instead of in the first game where you had to lug like one bag back at a time, you can take like 4, 5, 6, depending on how big your vehicle is, back to the camp, which is quite nice. So it helps build up resources a lot quicker.
Save you some time.
Yeah, quite a bit. Other than that, whilst I've been playing, I played a little bit of Doom. Doom 3, because I love that game. It's so simple. It's a bit dated now, but it's still a really fun game to play. And I like my FPS. I think that's pretty much everything I've been playing on computers. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I am.
And modest too.
Oh yeah, I'm not the most modest. Fucking sexy as well.
I think we've lost Naz completely.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Well,
Humble, you had
Final
this hit
Fantasy
order out on him all this time, did you? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
I think he's confirmed he's having a few too many problems his end with sadly continuing. So sadly we'll continue on without him. Hopefully he'll join us next month. But definitely go and check out his channel Talkplay on the YouTubes and follow him on Twitter, Naz_Dragonheart. There we go. There's your plugs, Naz. For seeing as you won't be here to give them yourself. So moving on. Josh, what have you been up to? What have you been playing this month of May in video games?
So, I actually finished my first Let's Play this month. My first ever Let's Play. That's actually done, all over. So
round of applause.
That was Jaws of the Planeswalkers, which I started probably like August, and I've only just managed to finish it. But one reason or another, I didn't have my own capture card and all that sort of stuff, and just a couple of problems recording and editing it and stuff. But that's done now. So I can put that one down, and I did say last month I'd have it done by the time the Origins comes out, so that's done now, over. My sort of mainstay staple game, as probably mentioned last month or the month before, I'm guessing, is Garden Warfare: Plants vs Zombies, which I'm having great fun with. Been playing, I've been recording some of that, and you can check that out on my channel if you're interested and you've never seen it before. That's good fun. I have also been playing. I started my new Let's Play the other day. I recorded the first couple of episodes, and it is the most awful port you have ever seen in your life. It's Resident Evil 4, but so the controls are as follows. So normal shooter mechanics would be left trigger in, gun comes up, right trigger down, gun fires. No. So left trigger down, knife up, right trigger down, gun up. To shoot is X.
That's weird.
You control the movement on the screen if you've got your laser pointer on your gun, not with the right stick but with the left stick.
Oh
the
no.
Camera, yeah. The camera, you can't pan, so you're stuck. So if you pan, like if you click right, you just do this, and then if you let it go, it comes back to normal again. So that means that when you move, you have to turn entirely your body with the left stick. So you have to like run away, stand still, and then like pull it over, and then like rotate Leon around, then pull your gun up. But most probably because the controls are so awful, instead actually pull your knife out first. Because let's be fair, and you can also control it with a D-pad. It's awful. It's good fun though. I am enjoying it. I recorded the first chapter of it yesterday, I think, first 3 episodes. But
sorry, Josh, can I just stop you there briefly? Is it Minty? You okay?
Sorry, guys, I'm having really bad issues at the moment. I can't really hear anyone.
I just wondered because your screen is completely frozen and you look really weird. I was just wondering if you're breathing.
It's all broken up. Hold on, let me just go and check the internet thing.
Okay, that's fine.
Just check your internet box.
Cool. Okay, so if Josh, if you just continue, hopefully the internet won't go down because Minty is in fact hosting this Skype call. So
yeah. But yeah, so I recorded the first 3 episodes of that the other day. And aside from that and my kind of general mainstay, which is Garden Warfare, I got back on the old BioShock Infinite train because I didn't actually have a chance to complete that before, and I played like the first bit up until the point where you get the girl out of the tower, and then just stopped playing it. But because I've finally finished my exams and completed my degree, I thought, well, might as well. So I finally kind of got towards the back end of that game, which is nice. And also,
absolutely love BioShock Infinite.
Yeah, it's so good. It's
absolutely
really beautiful. We were sat because some of you may know that Rob lives with me at the moment, and oh dear, are we about to lose the call?
I don't know. Are we? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. We might be.
Oh. Minty is currently reconnecting to the call. Hopefully we won't lose him, and hopefully we won't lose the call. So I'm going to assume if Minty goes, we all go with him.
I'm dragging you down with me.
And we'll take the break for what? An hour, 25 days. Another month.
Well, who needs to do a pre-ET? It's the post that counts, really.
It is, yeah.
Shall I carry on, or are we getting the dial noises for Minty still?
I think if you it'll dial up, yeah. I think if you carry on, Josh, and we'll see how we go.
So yeah, I've been playing BioShock Infinite under my own steam. We were, so what I was saying was because Rob lives with me at the moment, and the day that I was playing it, we were sat downstairs and we were sitting on the sofa, like me, my girlfriend, and Rob. My girlfriend's like fast asleep, and then Rob sat there on his laptop finding the girls just want to have fun thing, but played like, do you know on the beach you get like the pipe organ things at the beach,
it's like fairground music.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that sort of thing. But it's somebody who's done Girls Just Want to Have Fun but it's done it on that like fairgroundy, pipey kind of thing.
Oh,
it's
nice.
such an amazing cover.
There,
it's one of the,
like napping on me.
One of the most amazing things.
Up, like, it's just Girls Just Want to Have Fun, and we were like, "Yes, darling," and she just falls straight back asleep.
So BioShock Infinite's got some of the most amazing music, like it literally has, and it's got really great references to modern day music, just like that. Girls Just Want to Have Fun. Bearing in mind it's set early 1900s. I can't remember the exact 1930 something or something.
I think it's earlier than that, isn't it?
Yeah.
1912, 1908.
Yeah, something like that. But it's awesome. But we have just lost Minty. But we've not lost the call, which is a good
Call
thing.
is still
Another one goes.
Can someone add him back?
I don't have Minty, so.
I think Josh does.
I've got Mr. Mintram.
That's fine. Because it will save me messing up the recording if I add screens. So yeah, no, Bioshock Infinite, absolutely love that game.
Yeah, I mean, I think some of the obviously you get some of the oldie timey. You know, there's a jazz cover of.
What is it?
Tainted Love.
That's it. That's it.
Nice.
Call failed apparently. Tainted Love, and also there's a point where Elizabeth, who can open tears kind of through space and time, and that's kind of what she does. There's a point where you stop and something like pops up, and it's like T-Rex or the Rolling Stones or someone like that. It's like a really, really well-known guitar riff, and I can't remember what it is. And it was just like, have you ever heard that song before? It's like, no one's heard that song before. And we're like, we've heard that song before because it's really famous. But yeah, no. So I've been playing that, and then also I just had a little tinkle on Rob's PlayStation, playing Shadow of Mordor. Just because obviously, if you're watching Rob's Let's Play, you know, obviously they weren't lying when they said the Nemesis system is entirely different. So like, his game is entirely different to mine. Like, so I've just been having a little play around with it. Literally all of my time has been spent playing Plants vs Zombies virtually though. So, hey, what you gonna do? It's really good fun. And if you haven't played it, I will once again recommend it. Best, and it's just had a price drop as well on PlayStation and Xbox. It's like
it's a permanent price drop, isn't it?
It's like 15 quid.
Yeah,
can't go wrong. It's amazing. But yeah.
And all the DLC for it's free, isn't it? I believe.
Yeah, all the DLC for it's free. It's an EA game with free DLC.
Surprise.
Yeah. And
what?
Yeah, I know.
Free,
yeah,
it's
you
maps,
heard that
new
right,
game
kids.
Modes, new variations for characters and stuff. It's cool.
Free DLC from EA. Next we'll get a good game from Ubisoft.
I know, But in all fairness, like, you know, we did bash on EA quite a lot, and then I've stopped bashing on EA since they brought out Garden Warfare because it's just awesome. It's just really, really well done, really well maintained, and the DLC is free.
And then Battlefront.
And then Battlefront happened, and then I was sad.
So if we can anyone add Minty back again? Is that possible, Josh?
I'll try one more time.
Cool. Okay. If not, we will have to.
But only one more time.
But if you're done, Josh, then I suppose I'll talk about what I've been up to, what I've been playing this month before we lose any more people. And it ends up just me talking on a microphone.
And it'll just be me, Humble, and Rob, and then it'll just be me and Rob, and then it'll just be Rob.
It's like, guys.
You'll just watch all the lights all go out, and he'll just be like, I'm scared and alone. But yeah, so Rob, what have you been playing, brother?
Sorry, let me send this message to Minty. There we go. Right, okay. So this month I've actually managed to play some video games, and some surprising ones as well to many of you out there. I'm going to start off with the biggest elephant in the room, and I actually picked up a Call of Duty game. Silence as everyone looks at me with utter distaste.
I've played it, mate. Like, I played it courtesy of Rob, and I can confirm what Rob is about to say to you.
Thank you. So I picked up on the PS4 Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, which is the latest Call of Duty to the series. Now, the only reason I picked it up is because, one, it looks a lot different. It looks a lot better than previous Call of Duty games. Generally, I don't look into Call of Duty games because they're all the same. I've not played a COD game since Modern Warfare 2. But there is one live streamer, Colton Cresser on Twitch, who, go and check him out. He's a really good live streamer. But he plays Advanced Warfare a lot. I don't know why. I just sort of checked him out just for the hell of it one day. I just got a little bit interested in seeing what Call of Duty was doing, and it took me by surprise at how interesting and how good this game looked. Also, Total Biscuit, who, as you probably know if you've been following me for a while, is someone on YouTube who I highly respect and follow a lot.
Total Biscuit? I don't know who you mean.
God damn it, Josh. So yeah, his opinions I value quite highly. And even he gave it quite an astounding sort of good opinion. He doesn't do reviews, but he gave it a good impressions. So I picked it up, quite interested, and I've got to say it's probably the most enjoyable Call of Duty game I've played in a very, very, very long time.
Very, very good.
I've not played the single player, which I normally always do before I play the multiplayer, so I can't comment on single player. But the multiplayer is totally new, totally brand new. Basically, the game's got exosuits, which allows you to jump up and fly around pretty much the map as you want, which gives a whole new verticality to the game, to the maps. Sniping is something I've always done in Call of Duty. It's something I've always eventually done quite well after learning the game and the mechanics and what you can and can't do and that sort of thing. And sniping on Advanced Warfare is totally new. Totally new to any COD game I've played. The camping you just can't do in Advanced Warfare because the verticality, as I said, people are jumping up and down all over the damn place. You can't stay in one place for too long. Even jumping about and shooting people in midair is a totally new skill, and it really switches up and makes the content much more fast-paced, much more exciting, much more on its toes. Things are constantly moving. There's you never find that there's any sort of stalemate or just where you've got a bunch of people camping and you can't get through to an area or whatever. That just doesn't happen in Advanced Warfare because of the exosuits, and it's really, really enjoyable. The maps are really well thought out. They're quite different. They allow for lots of different ways, and once you learn the maps and learn the different nooks and crannies and where you can go, where you can't go, it's really enjoyable, really, really enjoyable. And there's a few maps that are constantly moving as well. So there's one, I can't remember the name of it, but there's one map in which halfway through the game a door opens and you have to move to the other side of the map because of a volcano. And if you get caught, then you're screwed, basically. And I think we're bringing back Minty. So Minty should be back.
Crackers.
Hey, Minty, welcome back. Sorry we couldn't get you back earlier.
Oh, God.
So yeah, cool. Got Minty back. Awesome. So yeah, and there's also another map which has a tsunami, which just comes in, and
that's what the map's called, Rob. I think you'll find.
Good. Okay, that's fine. At least we sorted that one out. If you're basically on the beach and the tsunami happens, then you die.
You get wet.
Yeah, you get a little bit wet. So, yeah, no, the game, I was really, really impressed, really, really surprised. There's a lot of customization in the game. Even creating the classes is a lot different. You only get a certain amount of things you can sort of use, so you can either put up some of your points into getting the perks, getting additions to your gun, such as scopes and extra ammunition and things like that, and there's quite a lot of customization, and you can even customize your person as a male or even a female soldier, which is quite nice. It's quite a nice level of customization with the game. So yeah, no, really surprisingly enjoying Call of Duty Advanced Warfare.
Yeah, I played that when it first came out, and I never played the online multiplayer because I thought it was just going to be, a load of people just continuously killing me, and I'd just get really pissed off with it. So
Especially
I played the story
how Call of Duty works, Ashton.
Yeah, I played the story mode, and I really enjoyed it. I was so surprised because I kind of bought it reluctantly, it's going to be the same thing. But yeah, it's really, really good, and I traded it in, but I'm actually really considering getting it back because.
Well, Ashton, if you get it back, we can have a few games online because that'd be awesome.
Oh yes, mate.
Top quality banter.
Yes, mate.
So I was very, very surprised that literally I've not enjoyed a Call of Duty game really since World at War. That was the last COD game I really, really enjoyed, as in campaign and online. So hopefully I'll jump into the campaign maybe this coming month. But yeah, no, just really surprised, really enjoying it. It really makes you really, really rethink how you play Call of Duty, which is nice. So I'm having to learn a completely new set of skills in order to play it, and especially sniping, as I said. So yeah, worth a go. I also picked up Far Cry 4, which I've got my gripes with that game. Excuse me. I've got my gripes with it. Obviously, I don't know if it's just me, but I think there's a glitch with the PlayStation 4 version, in that when you go onto the map, for some reason the cursor likes to just move around on its own, and it likes to take you places where you don't want to go. I also have a problem that when I get into a vehicle, sometimes it selects my weapon when I don't want it to. Occasionally I could be walking about and my weapon just changes and I don't want it to. So I think there's some sort of glitch, which I'll be honest, well, it doesn't really surprise me because it's Ubisoft. But this game came out last year and they've not fixed this.
I think it might be something to do with the PS4, because I've had that exact problem. My gun's just switching.
And I know it's not my controller that's broken, because it works for everything else I do. It works for every other game, and the controllers are new. So
I've had that with GTA. I've never played that, but like I'll just be running around and my gun will switch, and I have no idea why it does it. But like I don't know, it might be a similar problem.
It's really weird. I mean, the game is good. You know, the story's quite interesting. The characters are quite interesting. I mean, it's fair. I suppose fairly typical Far Cry, fairly typical sort of shooter game. But it's quite enjoyable to play something like open world shooter. It's quite a nice switch up to what I normally enjoy playing. But I'll be honest, that glitch is something that's really, really getting on my nerves, because you rely on the map quite a lot to know where you're going and what you're doing next, and finding treasure, finding all the collectibles, or finding a certain area that you need to go to. You know, and in an open world game, as we all know, maps are really, really important. And if there's a little glitch like that, which is really fucking annoying, it really spoils your
on you, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it really spoils your enjoyment of the game, and indeed your immersion, because you want to look at the map, but the cursor's like, nope,
not having any of it.
Yeah, it just takes you for a ride. So I'm enjoying it, but I'm not enjoying it because of that reason.
Yeah,
so
that's a shame.
Yeah. But I played a bit of the online, which was quite good, with a Mr. Giddy Gamer, who is someone who watches a lot of my live streams. So yeah, we had quite a fun time playing the online, which is, you know, quite fun. Just mess around with someone else in the world of Far Cry, go take some outposts and that sort of thing. So yeah. I think that's pretty much all I've been playing, apart from one of PlayStation Network's games from last month, which was Counter Spy.
That is a very good game.
Yeah,
very, very good game.
I've not played a lot of it, but it's quite a cool little indie game.
Yeah, it's nice. It's like, for those of you who don't know, it's like kind of a side scroller.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like very 3D. So you'll go up against cover, and then your whole screen will move for like 90 degrees. So you'll be aiming like down.
Turns into like a third person sort of view, doesn't it? Like a third person shooter view. And
it's really, really cool, the whole art style and everything. It's just a fun little game.
It's really colourful, really nice. It's kind of set in a sort of it's sort of set during like a Cold War, basically, sort of era. So like America versus sort of like Russia type thing, but it doesn't strictly say America and Russia.
It's like instead of what like USSR, it's like USS. I don't know. It's a slightly different acronym, or slightly different
it's a bit of like it's got quite a like comedic charm to it. It's quite sort of a bit of a satire almost. It's quite funny. So yeah, no, but it's really good. You sort of belong to an organisation which is kind of trying to stop both sides waging war against each other. So you're not on either one of the sides. So you sort of do missions towards both, and basically I think you're trying to sort of ascertain the control of both their nuclear powers to sort of stop the war. But it's really quite fun, really, really enjoyable. You can, you know, you can play it sort of guns blazing completely. You can play it quite stealthily, or a mix of both. And you know, there's quite a lot of verticality to the maps as well, and lots of different ways you can play it. You know, you have to watch out for certain things like CCTV cameras. There's different types of enemies in the game. There's certain enemies that if you just point your gun at them, they'll just surrender. And you get perks and points for that, and you get to upgrade your weapons and find collectibles, and it's a really quite enjoyable little fun game.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, it's really good.
Yeah,
And you know, that's something I really like about the PS4 is that the monthly games that they bring out, they're all just really fun things. I mean, it's never really like a AAA game, but they're all just small, fun indie games that are free when you have PS Plus, and it's really nice, really refreshing that you always get to play these little games.
yeah. Well, it's a good mix of PS4 games, PS3, and Vita games.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's a good mix of indie games and even AAA. Like I know next month in June we're going to get Metal Gear Ground Zero.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Isn't
that's
game
going to be
about 15 minutes long.
yeah. That they sold for like 40 quid. Yeah. So that's going to be out next month. But you also get really good set of like for this month, for example, Guacamelee was out, which is quite a good.
Is that? I haven't played that yet.
I don't know. I didn't download it, but I know it's quite a fun little sort of indie game, which is a bit like a brawler platform game, I think. So yeah, no, PSN. I'm really impressed with PSN. So yeah, that's what I've been playing. That's what I've been up to this month of May in video games. So I suppose without further ado, we've kind of reached the end of the first half of our podcast, and we will be stopping for a little quick intermissional thing. So enjoy whatever it is you'll be listening or watching in the next minutes or so, because we've not decided yet. But enjoy these messages, and we'll be right back with our talk and discussion about E3, because E3 is next month, and we will be hopefully talking about what we'll be looking forward to and what we hope to see and hear about. So we'll catch you guys in a bit.
What's up, guys? Josh here with Singularity Games. I hope you're enjoying the cast. I just want to use this little break to see if I can entice you to come hang out on my channel, Singularity Games. We're putting out 2 to 3 videos a week from a whole load of games, and currently we're playing Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare, which is great fun. We've also just started Resident Evil 4, an absolute classic horror game often hailed as the last good Resident Evil title. And if you'd like to watch me be chainsawed in half, then it's probably for you. I know, Rob's channel is awesome and I love it as well. So if I can't persuade you on my own, come and check out our collaborative Let's Play of Monaco, which involves a ton of us shouting, swearing, and generally getting in each other's way. That's all from me, guys, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the podcast. Until next time, guys, I've been Josh Singularity Games, and this is Josh, signing off.
And welcome back after that small little thing that you may or not have listened to or watched, whichever it was. I hope you enjoyed it. Obviously, we're back for part 2. Sadly, again, not with Naz, but still, he will be missed, and we will remember him justly. But now we get to the second half of our podcast, in which we will be talking about, probably for the next hour-ish or so, about E3, which is coming up on June the. God damn it! If we had Naz, he knows.
Oh! It is June.
Isn't it the 14th?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
We'll go with that.
16th, I think.
I think it is June 14th to the 16th. I think that's when it is.
Yeah.
When E3
So
is.
unprepared for this.
I'm guessing it'll be the 12th to the 14th, because that's Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
14
So-
to 16 is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So.
Okay. So E3 next month, which I think everyone's pretty excited about. I think, as per always, we've had pretty damn good E3s the last couple of years. Obviously, with the transition from the Xbox 360 and the PS3 to the new and current generation consoles, it's all very much an exciting time. And I think this year, especially, seeing as already we've had the current gen consoles just explode with all of the new games coming out. Dying Light, Bloodborne, GTA 5, Witcher, everything, and obviously more and more to come. And I think this year, especially for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, and indeed PC, is very, very exciting. So it's safe to say I think a lot of people, including us, are looking forward to E3. So really what we're going to be talking about in the second half of the show is what our hopes and dreams are for what's already sort of been announced for E3, and what our predictions are with those hopes and dreams that hopefully won't be shattered by games that end up being broken upon release, or full of glitches, or just keep getting delayed. And
Promised to you in 2015. released in 2016, repaired in 2099. Ubisoft, yo.
Although, to be fair, and this is one of the games that I will be talking about, I don't mind if you're going to delay a game, so long as you take as much time as you want to make it be working. So anyway, without further ado, who wants to go first on any particular game to talk about?
I think I'll jump in on that one.
Go for it,
with
Humble.
a game that I first heard rumoured, going back to 2013, I think, actually. And it's still not been properly announced, in that Fallout 4.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
Fallout 4. I first saw a report in 2013, which was about the right time for stuff like that to come out, because Skyrim had obviously been finished 2 years before. We were all wondering what are Bethesda doing. Turns out they were working on a bullshit MMO, but still.
Well.
But no, and it said that the actor who plays Three Dog had said in an interview with a gaming magazine, he said, "You may yet be hearing more from the dog." And that was the first thing I heard about it. And this has been rumbling on for ages and ages and ages. And even on the E3 page, if you click on the Fallout 4 link, it says, and I'm doing it now, and I will quote, the game has not yet been confirmed by the publisher as a title in development. Please check back for more info. So even Bethesda are still being very coy about this. But I really want to see this at E3. I really want to see, just even if it is just, yes, it's happening. Because I think that's going to be the most exciting thing for me, anyways.
Definitely. I mean, obviously, this is the first year that Bethesda are doing a big press conference at E3.
Yeah.
So obviously lots of people asking questions, lots of people wondering, lots of people watching that space, and I think rightfully so, because I think this year we're going to get some huge fucking announcements from Bethesda. Yeah. And I definitely think, without a shadow of a doubt, it's definitely going to be Fallout 4. What I'd love to see is not only them saying, yes, we're making it, but I'd love to see some sort of trailer. Some sort of trailer would just be amazing. I know they're showing a private demo behind closed doors to certain press people. We're not sure what that game is. It would be amazing if that was Fallout 4. That would be absolutely astounding. But yeah, I know that's definitely watch this space.
Right. Yeah. Can I just jump in here, because the rumor kind of came to fruition regarding kind of came into credibility, I guess. Yeah. By a trailer, and a guy put on LinkedIn on his CV saying that he'd worked on the pre-rendered trailer for Fallout 4.
Yeah.
If go back and look at and he is a real artist and he works for a real company, and obviously it's been taken down since, but not before some clever bastard managed to get a screen cap of it.
Yeah.
So I mean, his fingers crossed. I mean, I love Fallout.
Yeah.
Great game, but hopefully we'll see something from it.
Fingers crossed. I mean, obviously, as mentioned earlier, they're doing a massive, press conference. So it might not. I mean, I think Fallout 4 is a big enough reason to just do a press conference without shadow of a doubt. But it wouldn't surprise me if also we had a bit more from them. Maybe on things, maybe of Elder Scrolls Online. Maybe a little bit more on that, or maybe an expansion. Because obviously, I think is it early next month they're releasing the game on Xbox One and PS4.
Yeah. And that's probably why they'll steer clear of that one, I imagine, unless they do a quick show of what it's going to be like on the console, because actually what they've had to do, because of the lack of popularity of the game, is knock it down to 0 subscription, which is great, because I'm free. But I think they'll be steering clear of any sort of big Elder Scrolls Online.
But
I mean, in all fairness, reasons that Bethesda would call press conference, Fallout 4, which is most likely, maybe not the most likely, shared most likely is a new IP.
Yeah.
Thirdly, something to do with Elder Scrolls as a standalone title in terms of Elder Scrolls 6. But that being said, fans waited so long to hear about Skyrim. There is no chance that that's happening, I don't think.
It wasn't that long, wasn't it? Was Oblivion?
For a long time, man.
Was it 2000? Was it? I thought it was.
Oblivion was 2006, I believe.
Let's say not a long time.
Yeah, 06. It was out in 06.
In that case, it was only 4 years since Skyrim.
Yeah.
Just to make us all feel old.
It doesn't seem that long ago, Skyrim.
Skyrim was 2011.
4 years the same way Oblivion aged in 5 years.
Yeah.
Yes, so it's been 4 years. Since
Yeah, it's not overly aged, I guess. Like you said, like, Oblivion aged poorly.
it really did.
The only other things that I think could possibly be, and this is like rumor from quite a few other people that are speculating about this sort of thing, but maybe potentially a Dishonored 2.
Yeah,
obviously that game did very, very well. They've got an arena shooter. I think is it called Battleborn or something that they were working on, which was announced or spoken about last year. So maybe some more news on that. So it wouldn't surprise me if there was a number of things that went into this press conference. But again, if it's just Fallout 4, more Fallout 4 for us.
Yeah,
definitely.
I'd be happy with that.
Cool. And the conversation dies. Excellent.
Next game.
Next. Anybody want to jump in?
I will. Doom. New Doom game. It's just simply called Doom, not like Doom 4 or anything like that. Just Doom.
It's a Doom
Another
remaster?
one of these new reboots.
Yeah, like a
I don't think it
Isn't
is.
that something Bethesda own?
It is a Bethesda,
Yeah,
It is a
I thought it
Bethesda
was.
game. Because it was done. They started working on Doom 4 in 2008, but they cancelled it. They lost it. They just stopped it and left it. Then Bethesda took over. I think 2011. They did a complete restart of the Doom title. That's as far as we've got at the moment. They had obviously success with stuff like Wolfenstein and things like that, and they've started working on an entirely new version of Doom, and it's supposed to be.
Well, maybe that's something that we'll hear about
At the press
as
conference
part of the
as well.
press conference as a minor. Well, I
That'd be
say
good.
a minor, a minor title, but you know what I mean, like a.
It seems really, from what I've seen of the
supplementary
Doom
to their
stuff.
big IPs.
Yeah, Doom stuff looks much more melee based than shooter,
Oh, okay.
which is different.
Strange.
But to be honest,
Should be
with the
good.
success of Wolfenstein New Order and indeed the expansion, which was it last month was released or this month?
Old blood.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean that's been again extremely successful as the whole game has. Which let's be honest, it's probably one of the best FPSs we've had for a real long time, with a great story.
Yeah, the
and
story in
everything.
Wolfenstein, the New Order, is absolutely fantastic. There's some proper feels moments in it. And it's
So
just,
to be
it's
honest,
so good.
if Bethesda are publishing Doom, then it can only get better. Surely.
It's only got the same sort of lines as Wolfenstein, isn't it? And
Yeah,
it'll
no,
smash it.
exactly.
It'll be just as good.
If it's anything like Wolfenstein New Order, then I think it's going to be a great Doom game.
I think, in all fairness, they have to be cautious as to not draw the comparison between the two, almost as if they've just reskinned Wolfenstein to sci-fi.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't think they will though, because they're not lazy.
Because Bethesda aren't lazy, but I mean, in all fairness, if you're going to get your critics are just going to be like, well, all they did was they just took the same narratives and the same, corridors and just slapped a different coat of paint on them. And I think that's something that they need to be wary about. I think.
Like the first Doom and Wolfenstein games, the Wolfenstein 3D and Doom 1 and 2, pretty much exactly the same game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that was one thing Bethesda were accused of when we had Oblivion, then we had Fallout 3, that it's just, Oblivion with guns. But when I played Fallout 3, I didn't feel like Oblivion in the slightest. It wasn't just a reskin, like...
I can sort of see though, but I think it's more of a stylistic thing with for example, like the way that the combat works or whatever in terms of like left hand, right hand, and the way that you equip stuff and all that sort of shit. Like the menu, the menus look similar, but like the actual play experiences are very different.
Same sort of graphics engine, isn't it?
Yeah, that's all it is.
I think it was just the same engine. Yeah.
Same engine,
So-
and then obviously they just if it works well for one game, why not have it work well for another in terms of functionality? So then people pick it up quicker.
Be interesting to see what they use for Fallout 4.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I don't know if that
It's a new engine.
New
It has to
engine.
be,
I don't know if
surely.
it's. I don't. Do Bethesda develop their own engines or?
I think they do, yeah, because I mean they used.
It's called Raid, like because they had the stuff that they had the new engine for Skyrim, which did. The
Yeah, they
Radiant
did, didn't they?
stuff.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I don't know if that was actually the name of the engine though. If it's called Radiant or not, but.
Yeah.
I know the scripting language they use is called Papyrus, but that's nothing to do with the engine. So.
Yeah. Anyway,
Just
but
throwing that out.
exciting nonetheless. Random gaming facts.
I heard all the developers wear shoes.
Not all.
So, Ashton, what do you look forward to? Let's hear.
I'm really interested in Mirror's Edge 2. Because I absolutely loved the first Mirror's Edge game. Like, I absolutely adored it. And I was so long ago now. And I've been hearing that it's kind of like maybe not a sequel, but kind of like a reboot kind of thing. So I'm really interested to see like what's happening with that, and like because obviously a lot more games now I've got like bits of parkour, like Dying Light, which just came out. That's got like some parkour in it. So I'm interested to see how much more they can really throw in a game like this. So
in all fairness, like Mirror's Edge was a bit of an opinion divider. I mean, I played it, I loved it, I thought it was great. I did the whole thing without killing anybody.
Yeah,
first time round, just because I really wanted to do it, because it was worth because I'm a bit of an achievement hunter. So it was worth like 100. It was like worth like 150 G, and I was like, right, I'm having this. So, but yeah, no. So sorry, just mute my microphone. It's really easy to mute it now. You know, but like I know a lot of people really hated it because it was really because obviously the color palette was so bright. And obviously you're moving around so much and stuff, and lots of people found it like made them sick and it like disorientated them a bit. Like, did anybody play it and have like a negative experience with it? Or
like,
unfortunately, I've never played it.
Good game. Good, excellent.
I mean, it will be interesting to see because I think Mirror's Edge was, shall we say, a bit of a cult classic almost.
Yeah, I can yeah.
Because it was quite an opinion divider. It's not something everyone played, but you either, I think, from what I can tell, you either loved it or you hated it if you did play it.
Yeah, it was a bit of a
so it will be interesting if Mirror's Edge can either stand out on its own and be be something that draws a lot of people in, or lives up to the hype of the previous game, or is better, or changes the game in some way that just makes it cut above its predecessor. That'll be interesting to see, I suppose.
I think that's the biggest issue with lots of reboots. I mean, it's flavour of the month. Obviously, they rebooted Thief, they rebooted like XCOM, they rebooted. They rebooted Doom. I mean, like, it's flavour of the month, just taking like older games and then like rebooting them up again. So I mean, I think it's just another thing.
I really like reboots. Yeah, I really like reboots for the same kind of reason that it's similar to like a new IP. The kind of thing that you don't really know what to expect, but you've got like a good idea of what it'll be. And so like some games can be completely different and like absolutely blow your mind, but there are the disappointments like Thief. I could not stand that game.
Lots of people though, like the problem is that you'll get like people who are like zealous fans of the last game, like, nah, this is the worst shit I've ever seen ever, and then like the problem with the reboot is that people don't let it stand on its own legs, on its own merits. Like, I'm sure there are like good things about the new Thief reboot in some way, shape, or form, but not for Thief fans. Do you know what I mean? Like, if that was just a different game,
yeah, I get it.
Like, lots of people might have just been like, actually, this was like, wasn't the best game in the world, but it was alright. Like, it had its merits, and I think you've just got to be really careful, especially when you're throwing around big AAA names like, Wolfenstein, Doom, things like that. Mirror's Edge is just kind of like one of these like newer, like culty, classic-y kind of ones. I think, yeah. But just nobody lets the game stand on their own merits. It's always been my argument with music for years as well, but that's a totally different topic. But it's just people aren't willing to give anything new a try if they like what they like from 20 years ago.
Yeah,
they won't see the good in it regardless. So
that's always the worry, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's remaining hopeful.
I mean, in all fairness, like I really like the first game. It was really good. So, I've got high hopes that if it's like, is it the same people again? Does anybody know? Same developer?
It's being done by EA.
Oh.
Yeah, have I just dashed all your hopes?
Oh well, we're fucked.
Never mind, eh? Let's try.
Never mind, eh?
You know, well, I
I
mean,
feel bad now. I wish I hadn't read it.
I felt better because I was just like, oh, you know, I got better about EA. I was like, Plants vs Zombies is really great, cool. And then they were like, and then Star Wars happened, and then I was like, never mind. Go back in the hole, EA.
I think what we should say about people like EA is their own IP they do really well.
Everyone else is.
Zombies is their stuff. Obviously, all the sports games EA have always been good at anyway. But with the possible exception of some of their Lord of the Rings stuff, they don't do anyone else's IP any good at all. The stuff that they've taken on has tended to be not as good as it was when EA have taken it over.
Yeah.
Like if it's like, you mean if it's like a rehash? Because obviously PopCap is the IP owner for Plants vs Zombies. It's not EA's title, so I assume you mean
Publish it.
like a
yeah.
reboot or whatever.
Yeah, if EA actually take it and change it, put their own stamp on it.
Hey mate, that DLC will be waiting for you when you go out tomorrow. It'll just leap at you. It'll be like, you know that DLC? You know, for that game that we've not even announced yet. Would you like to buy it? You'll need a season pass for that, mate. Access online. $60 retail. Delayed till 2022.
So, Josh, anything you're particularly looking forward to this year, E3?
Well, speaking of delayed games, I'm going to jump on. I'm going to jump on The Division. As previously stated, huge Clancy fan. Love all his titles. Love the Splinter Cell and Vega, Rainbow Six, and I don't know what actually ever happened to Patriots in the end. Did that just get entirely cancelled?
Binned, wasn't it?
Was it binned? That's a shame. That was a really good concept. But I've got high hopes for The Division. It looks kind of cool. It's the sort of thing I'm into. It's like, borderline sci-fi almost, I guess. Kind of like post-apocalyptic sci-fi. I'm kind of into that sort of thing. Dystopian and all that sort of stuff. So I'm kind of hoping.
We've lost Josh's video.
Ooh. I did wonder why my configuration changed around. Like you're all at the top and then you were all in a square. And I was like, what?
I think he's coming. He's back. We got him back. We got his beautiful moving face back.
Yeah.
See, I must admit, because I think it was 2 years ago E3, so 2012. That's when I don't know if that was the first announcement of The Division, but that was surely when 2013, sorry, was when I was first introduced into The Division. But it did look really, really, really good. It's generally not a sort of game that would have, I suppose, interested me instantly, but it did look very interesting.
Looks great.
But for it to be once again delayed until next year, good thing probably, because I'll be honest,
I really like that. I really like the fact that games are delayed. Like with Dying Light, it was delayed so many times, and when it was first announced, I was there I'm looking forward to this game so much, and then it kind of died off, and it kept getting delayed, and I just got bored of waiting for it. But when it came out, it's a solid game. It is really, really good fun, and I'm kind of glad they're doing it.
Well, they did it with Shadows of Mordor as well, and look how that turned out for them. So.
I don't care if you need to delay the game. Do that. I'd rather you do that than force it out on a date that you can't make and the game be broken or disappointing as fuck.
Exactly.
When if you had that delay,
in all fairness, man,
it would have been fine.
If Assassin's Creed can get out on time, it's always going to be a disappointment, even if they delay it.
Oh fucking hell.
But I mean, with The Division, I think the first announcement, obviously, like you said, 2013. But that was just kind of to showcase the next-gen hardware at the time, I think. It was kind of here's a quick 5 minutes that we can show you. This game will be coming out for your next-gen. Get hyped for it or whatever. And then, last time, they were just okay, well, we've actually... Because it was, early alpha what they showed before. So they're like, okay, well, we're pretty far along with it now. With any luck, it'll be released, 2015. And then, obviously, they've just gone, okay, well, we just need, another, 6 to 7 months. I mean, to be honest, if it gets pushed back again... I kind of start to worry a bit, personally. I mean, if a game gets delayed to more than 3 times, I personally start to worry a little bit.
Or maybe like Final Fantasy 15, which has been delayed for like 8 years now.
Yeah, but that wasn't any good in the first place.
Oh,
That entire
probably
IP
not.
is just
Probably not.
awful.
I mean,
Oh, wait,
what are your hopes for the Division, Josh? I mean, what are you hoping that game to be, or wanting it
classic.
to be?
I want it to be like classic. You know, like I always find that when you play a Clancy title, whether it's Rainbow Six, whether it's Splinter Cell, or like Ghost Recon, it's got a very distinct style to the gameplay. So it's always like very tactically based. It's always like kind of like think about what you're doing before you do it. There are 6 different ways to get through the way you're trying to go, and even if it's not like that, it's kind of like things like Ghost Recon, which is a little bit more linear. It's like, well, if you cover here, you can then order your soldiers to shoot there and there, and then cover here and here, and things like that. And I like, you know, Ashton was on about playing Dragon Age without the tactical thing, but I like that. I like being able to think, but I also like to be able to control as well. Yeah. So like I like playing third-person games where I get to like properly think about it. So like, you know, playing Blacklist a couple of months ago was great for me because I was like trying to get all the ghost stuff, which is like the never seen stuff, and like, you know, I'd retry it like 6 or 7 different times, but go in all the different pathways to work out where all the routes were and all the patrols, and I love all that sort of stuff. So I think, to me, if it stays true to its roots, I can't imagine it ever being a bad game by any stretch of the imagination. The shooting is always really nice. They've got like a really good feel for what it's like to shoot. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I like the feeling of how it shoots compared to something like Call of Duty, or even something like Fallout or whatever. Like, I just like the way it works. So I think tactical, stealthy, or on guns blazing, good shooting mechanics, and then interesting little knickknacks with toys to play with, and a good story. I think that's the heart of what makes it a good Clancy title.
Speaking of Tom Clancy, what's that new one, Siege, that's coming out? What do you guys think of that?
Wasn't that a Rainbow Six game?
Yeah, wasn't that Rainbow Six?
Rainbow Six, yeah.
Oh yeah, Rainbow Six Siege.
Looks good. Because they were doing Patriots and then they announced Siege afterwards. But I think Siege is kind of like Counter-Strike, from what I could gather about it, but I wasn't sure. Kind of one of those just like online map things, no story, kind of affairs. Yeah. But I mean, it's probably going to be interesting. Like I said, Clancy games are always interesting in the way that they pan out. So, with exception to Hordes, because that just wasn't very good. But we gotta have one shit one on the CV. So, yeah. So that's kind of my pick for my thing. I mean, I've got a couple more, but someone else jump in.
That's fine. So jumping off the back of games that are delayed, Uncharted 4 is going to be one of my big picks for this year E3 of like what I'm like looking forward to finding out more of, and really a game I was really excited for in general. As I've mentioned previously on the podcast, I've played Uncharted 1 to 3, such amazing games, really, really awesome games. Great storylines, great characters, pretty interesting gameplay. And just general good all round, and it's Naughty Dog as well. We're probably one of the best developers around at the moment, let's be fair. The game's been delayed till I think next year, which again, totally fine with. Naughty Dog, you take as much time as you need to make that game be amazing. Take as much time as you need for it to live up to the previous 3 games. Just I don't doubt them for a second that it's going to be a good title. This year it would be really nice to see maybe a bit more of the gameplay, maybe a bit more about mechanics and things like that, sort of direction it's going in, how far along it is, what things they're planning for it really. So that more trailers, more and things. So Uncharted 4, really really hyped and looking forward to finding out more about that. I don't know if anyone else is.
I haven't played an Uncharted game either, so
I played the all 3 of them, in fact. And the thing about Uncharted is I really like it, but at the same time I really don't, because I love the puzzle bits and all those stuff is absolutely brilliant. But what really bugs me is that you'll be doing one bit and then you'll go around the corner and there'll be like 50 guards. So you'll take them all out and you'll kill everything, and then you'll go right around the corner and there'll be a load more people, and it's just like it's all the nifty puzzle bits, climbing bits and stuff, which I absolutely love, are kind of dumbed down because there are guards around every corner, which really bugs me.
I got to admit, I do wholeheartedly agree with you, Ashton. Like, that's the one thing that, in the end, I found got really monotonous with me. It was kind of like, it was really nice when you had that complete break and pause from it all, and you were doing a puzzle, you were doing lots of climbing or whatever, and you were, looking around and exploring and finding loot and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, there'd be a cutscene, and then, big bit of story or whatever, and then it'd be like, oh, but kill all these dudes for the next 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, yeah, but I mean, it's fun, but it just gets monotonous when there's other elements to what really is you're a treasure hunter. You're Indiana Jones. You want to do more of the archaeology side of stuff, I guess, or the treasure hunting. As opposed to shoot all these dudes. So again, yeah, I agree with you, Ashton. Hopefully, Uncharted 4 can be a bit more of that, or we can have a few more elements of that, which, I think maybe it was a little bit scared to. I don't know.
It's just because it knows that shooting guns and shit sells. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To me, like, as a non-PlayStation owner, kind of looking from the outside in at stuff like, Uncharted, to me, it always just looked like Assassin's Creed, but with guns. Like, and that's, it's just kind of like run through, do a bit of climbing, solve a puzzle, fight some people, but you shoot them instead of fighting them, and then go through, find some stuff, find the next bit of the puzzle, find the next bit of the loot, find whatever, run through, do a bit of jumping, solve another puzzle, kill some more people. You know what I mean? Like, it just.
I suppose to a degree, in its simplest form, then it's a pretty similar formula, I guess.
But yeah, I mean, I just don't particularly get on with games that generally mimic things like the Creed, because I just find them really boring, personally. So I mean, I've never really been hyped about it.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see a little less of the gunplay in Uncharted.
What would be nice is a lot more stealth option, the ability to go around without killing like hundreds of people.
Because I'll be honest, like, Nathan Drake's not a fucking soldier. If anything, combat is something he'd rather avoid as much as possible. So if there is combat, stealth would be the more beneficial way to go. Take out one guy at a time, because that's probably something he's a bit more capable of doing because he's not a soldier.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing would be as well, like, because he's a treasure hunter and he does all this kind of stuff, he explores around. A reward for exploration might be things like, I mean, I can't imagine it happening or whatever, but he goes, say he goes into a house and there's a chandelier and there's loads of people, and if you can stealth your way around, you can shoot out the chandelier or drop the winch, and then you can deal with them that way rather than individually having to shoot the living crap out of everyone. Like, things like that, like rewarding you for what the game wants you to be doing, which is obviously exploring and looting and stuff, like
and solving puzzles. Yeah.
So I feel that seems a bit more natural, like kind of, using your environment and, or just, totally bypassing it where you can.
But I think at the end of the day, either way, even if it is a bit more of the same gameplay, I'm fine with that, because I know at the end of the day, Uncharted has always had a great narrative, a great running storyline all the way through it, and that's the one thing that's always kept me very, very interested in it. And I mean, the gameplay is good. It's not broken in any sense. It'd just be nice to break up the monotony a bit more.
Cool. Yeah. I just want to bring up. This will come as a shock to you. I just want to bring up the Minecraft mixing with Telltale Games.
Very interesting.
It is. It is. Obviously, Telltale Games do episodic gameplay. We all know all the stuff they've done. They've been very successful with it. And Minecraft, probably in terms of explosion, one of the most successful games of the last 10, 15 years.
I genuinely wouldn't be surprised if it was if you looked at the stats and stuff, if it was one of the most successful games of all time, if I'm honest.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Obviously, you know, myself, Naz, and our guys, we all do the Minecraft Realm stuff.
Which is very hilarious, and go check it
It's
out.
very funny. Go
Thank you.
watch it.
Thank you. Series 3 is coming out very, very soon.
Good.
We've ordered it. Just got to get it done. But yeah, and obviously through the second series, we naturally built up a sort of story. Didn't intend to, wasn't scripted at all, and that sort of happened. So the thing with Minecraft is it's all very much you build your world, you build your story, and it sort of happens naturally. So my question would be, what do we think that Telltale Games can bring to the Minecraft world that we can't already bring to the Minecraft world with just us and our imaginations?
Well, I mean, depending on how it's structured, if it's structured similarly to like Game of Thrones or whatever, where it's kind of just you don't actually control a character, do you? Do you? Rob will tell me, but I think don't you just go like scene to scene to scene almost, and just conversationally, and then it takes you down different paths? Is that? Am I correct in assuming this, or do you actually control a PC?
I assume it's very similar to The Walking Dead, in which
I've not played any Telltale games.
You do control a character, and you do move them about, and you do certain things, and you engage in certain parts of the story. I mean, I think for all of Telltale Games, it's the same formula that really made you laugh, didn't it, Minty? Such a child.
oldest one here, and just a child.
Whoa.
All right, Dad.
Is he?
I'll give you a spanking. You carry on.
Is Minty older than me?
Probably.
I think so, yeah.
So Telltale Games on take on Minecraft.
So because I think Telltale have pretty much got a similar it's mechanic all the way through their games. From, I mean, I only know what I hear, really, and it's, you know, same with The Walking Dead, with I assume the Game of Thrones, and I assume even Borderlands. It's just all the same. So, but I don't know. I mean, we're probably right in assuming that Minecraft is going to get the same Telltale games makeover, but I can't see those two together at all.
Yeah, what I'm wondering is if the art style is going to change with Minecraft, or if it's just going to be the same.
Yeah, because obviously that's the most significant thing about it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm guessing that the story itself will center around Steve, rather than just like one of your, you know, like your own player character or whatever. Like it'll be like Steve, and there'll be like, you know, if there is, you know, it'll be like
the hunt for the Ender Dragon. That might be a thing.
Hunt for the Ender Dragon, or you know, the hunt for the Nether, or where, you know, things like that. So
the thing that will freak me out, and I'm sure it'll freak a lot of players out, is that if it's a Minecraft game where you can't actually do any mining or crafting, that would freak me out. Just walking around, I've got to pick it. Oh no!
Oh, this is adventure mode.
What fresh hell is this? It just seems. I just think there are some games, like there are some movies movies you don't remake, songs you don't cover.
Yeah.
And I think there are some games that you should just not touch.
Dabble
with all the best
with.
one in the world, that it may be a great game on its own right, and I'm not going to say, you know, I wouldn't say it wouldn't, because Telltale, their record speaks for itself. They've been very successful, as does Minecraft. But I just question: does Minecraft need to be made into anything else other than just the game it is?
I think it might be quite an interesting feature, though. I mean, it's not like it's going to change Minecraft. Minecraft is going to stay the same. It's just kind of its own little side thing, that kind of thing. So interesting, but at the same time, I get where you're coming from. Like, it doesn't need it.
I'll certainly get it. I'll certainly play it. Because, you know, it's only fair, you know, as Josh, you said earlier, let games stand up on their own two legs, and it could be brilliant. It's just, I think it's going to be one of those things that's got to be viewed as, it's not necessarily a Minecraft game. It's a game about Minecraft or in the world.
I think it's maybe the idea which I think a lot of people are going to be like worrying or wondering about, is because as you've said, Humble, and rightfully so, Minecraft is such an open game where you can do literally anything you want, and as you said, your story, because it has, even if you just watch Humble's Let's Play on it, and even indeed Minty's gameplay on Minecraft, the story and the lore, quote unquote, just kind of makes itself up, and it's just something that happens, and you don't quite know why or how, but it just does. And if Telltale are getting the Minecraft IP and doing whatever they want with it, it's kind of weird, because it's almost as if someone's saying, okay, we're going to take this and we're going to control it and tell you what to do with it, which is something no one's ever done with Minecraft, and something that's very alien to people who play Minecraft, which I think that's the interesting thing.
I mean, Minecraft is rife with mods and stuff. I mean, even people who, with the best will in the world, have it just to explore and do their own things in vanilla. There's always somebody who wants that extra bit of freedom. He's like, I want that machine, I want that train, I want guns, I want swords, I want extra monsters, like, you know, and you know, Minecraft in a way is kind of like its own little art form. It's all about self-expression, and it's just kind of doing what you want to do with it. So
yeah,
I mean, to be honest, like, it's one of those really, really awkward things, because I like the fact that Telltale's envision of it is where everybody's like, well, Minecraft is just free. It's just, you know, this beautiful big open world that you, like, randomly generates every time, and you do your own shit with it. And they've gone, oh, well, actually, here's our lore. Instead of watching Humble or Minty play Minecraft, here is our lore. Here is what's happening in our world, and come and take part of it and come and play it. And I think that's kind of like, you know, I can see the balance to it almost, because you know, you'd watch a Let's Play. You know, I watch Fantastic Realms, and obviously I watch. Yeah. I don't know if yours is also called Fantastic Realms as well, Humble, or just the Minecraft?
Mine's it's in the Fantastic Realms. Just
yeah, so you know, Humble, Naz, I've watched both of theirs, and like, you know, so that's no different than you sort of like semi-playing. You know, it's just a bit more interactive if you're just playing someone else's world.
And I was thinking that after Rob brought this up, actually, because the Minecraft lore is so open, it does just make itself. That actually gives Telltale Games license to, as you said, sort of say, well, this is our story, this is what happened to it. For all we know, it could be that one of the Telltale Games employees played a Minecraft game and had some tremendously exciting things happen in it, and it's just them retelling that. We don't know.
Definitely one to watch.
It's very exciting.
Very interested by the prospect of it.
Mm.
Cool. Okay. And anyone else? Just keep this rolling.
Someone else go first.
I was just going to say something kind of interesting, and we don't have to talk about it long, because it's, you know, it's kind of breaking the borders between games, I find, and I think it's kind of cool. Is it called Sword Coast Legend? Sorry, let me just double check the title's right.
Sword Coast Legends.
Yeah.
Sword Coast Legends. Which is developed by one of my favourite developers who make Magic the Gathering, which is Wizards of the Coast, and they also own the IP for Dungeons and Dragons. So what it is, or the way that I've read what I've seen of it, is that it's going to be a way to play D&D. We could play D&D like now or whatever, in its own little engine or whatever, with real life decisions made in real time by real life dungeon masters, with different kinds of, you know, with different people at the same time. And I just think that's really nice that they've kind of taken this very, very tabletop-y system and have somehow managed to project it outwards in order to get more people interested. And I just kind of wanted to touch on, you know, the marriage of old and new between that. And I think it's kind of interesting. What does everyone think of that, like, or even if it's not necessarily Dungeons and Dragons similar. You know,
so is it like a normal game that you can play along, and then someone will just log in and make some decisions or roll some stuff for you?
Possibly. I mean, I did see something that was kickstarted a while ago, which was, you know, had, you know, almost like a board, like a virtual board, which had like NPCs and stuff, and you could make the NPCs like, you know, you could type them in type boxes, and you could make like the mayor talk or whatever and things like that, and you know, you could have little markers, and obviously you've got little like figurines that you move around yourself and stuff. So I just thought it just sounded kind of interesting. I mean, the actual description, as far as we have, says Sword Coast Legends is a role-playing game that allows players to live out their Dungeons & Dragons fantasies online. Parties of up to 4 human players to cooperate in adventures managed in real time by human dungeon masters. So whether the adventures are preordained and then the outcomes are decided by the dungeon masters and the players, or if it allows the dungeon masters free reign is foggy. But I just thought it might be interesting.
The thing that possibly sprung to my mind with this, and I could be completely wrong, but obviously all we're going on is that tiny paragraph.
Yeah.
But obviously in the last couple of years or so, I mean, I since really Twitch has become a big thing, more and more prevalent have we seen Twitch channels open up that are playing Dungeons and Dragons with a group of people. Get people together on a Skype call and they play a Dungeons and Dragons campaign on stream on Twitch. And it's something that people I suppose are doing more and more, which the glorious internet is connecting more and more people that can't be together. And I suppose maybe this is an idea from them. How I would maybe envision this is, like, say, from Dungeons and Dragons 4th edition onwards, we've had the idea, or they had the idea of physical figurines and boards and an actual visual reference rather than just pen and paper in your imagination, which has obviously been Dungeons and Dragons for the past 20, 30 years. But maybe this is something like a video game similar to Baldur's Gate style, sort of top-down view, that sort of thing. But obviously there is player characters playing the actual characters, and then this world that's made up, and then a dungeon master sort of ordaining everything else that goes on. And maybe you're doing this over a Skype call or an in-game chat or something like that. So you're kind of playing an actual video game, but am I making any sense?
I get it, yeah.
Like that's how I kind of see it, or maybe that's what I hope it would be, something similar to like that, which I think would be quite interesting. We've had games that are fairly similar, and we've got one game coming up, but we've had, is it Dungeon... Oh, I can't remember it. Dungeon Land, I think it is, which was a Steam game, which is quite a nice little game where you play with 3 other people and someone who plays like a dungeon master, essentially, and you have to go through this dungeon, and the dungeon master stops them from basically completing the dungeon, and they throw a load of minions at them, create traps and that sort of thing, and basically try and destroy the players, which is something which is similar to what we're going to be getting with Fable Legends, where you've got 4 heroes, I believe, and then someone who's playing the big bad who tries to stop the heroes.
Everything else.
Yeah. So maybe it's going to be something similar to that.
Yeah, I could see that. That Dungeon Land, I was just watching little Humble's face, and his eyes just went, that sounds amazing.
It's a really good game. I've got it on Steam. It is a fun game.
I might have to pick that up.
We'll have to have that.
It's a fun game.
We'll have to have a little bash in it if we can all grab it.
It's a fun game.
Just to jump in, I can't say anything else other than I'm going to say on this topic for reasons that will become clear.
Dun dun dun.
But just touching on Fable Legends, all I'm going to say is, buy it, guys, if only for the voice acting, because I can tell you the voice acting is going to be absolutely awesome.
Oh dear. Me and Humble are going to have a little chat later.
If we do, you're all going to have to sign an NDA.
That's fine.
But yes, I am aware of things about Fable Legends that are absolutely awesome. But that is
so
all.
Is that work associated or personal association? Just out of interest.
It is a person association. I am not involved in Fable Legends in any way, shape, or form.
Humble is actually the main character in Fable Legends.
He's done mocap,
and everything. Yeah.
No, I'm not involved in it, but I happen to know that it's gonna be a very interesting game.
Cool. So yeah, but that's what this D&D styled game springs to mind. I mean, I could be completely wrong because all we're going on is a tiny little paragraph, but that's my interpretation of it, or hopeful interpretation of it, I suppose.
Cool. Anyone else?
Yeah. How about the sequel to Deus Ex: Human Revolution, the Mankind Divided?
Yes, obviously we spoke briefly on that on the last podcast. Yeah.
But that. Some more content on that one should be coming forwards at E3, which would be quite fantastic.
What are you expecting from E3 regards to that?
I'm hoping for some more gameplay footage.
Yeah.
Or some gameplay footage.
Yeah. Rather than pre-rendered cutscene.
Yeah, because all we saw is that one all I've seen so far. I'm going to admit that I haven't searched that much into it, but all I've seen is that one short video of Adam Jensen jumping in and kicking some ass.
That could be any point in the game. Let's be completely honest with you. Adam Jensen is a badass.
Yeah, and he is obviously the character in the game. Is pretty much continued straight on from the other game, where pretty much everyone hates augmented people, and they want to kill him, and he's fighting for them. Is the basics of it.
It'd be nice, and this is one thing I've always loved when you get this at E3 is, or any convention for that matter, is when you get the obviously gameplay trailers, amazing, but one step better than that would be them playing through like a playable demo. Basically when they just show the developer playing the game, essentially. That would be nice to see, because I'm quite interested to see with Deus Ex how they're going to move on from Human Revolution, and is there, as we discussed in the last podcast, is there going to be more options for different ways of playing the game?
I've literally just pulled up the E3 thing, because I know very little about Deus Ex in general, which is a massive gap in my gaming knowledge. But apparently, according
worth
to
a play.
this, I'm sure it is. Everything I've heard about it is very positive. But you know how you said it, how they're going to move forward from this. It's actually the first part of a multimedia project that's taking Deus Ex not just through video games, but mini games, books, graphic novels, and more. End quote.
Oh.
So they're trying to make it a franchise in its own right outside of gaming as well, by the looks of things. So
that's nice.
That'd be quite cool.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see what sort of percentage of the E3 stuff is taken up with the sort of non-gaming related ideas.
I'll see some graphic novels from it.
I'll be honest, Deus Ex, I think, and we discussed this, and I'm sure you guys will agree, who were on the last podcast, we it's got such a rich lore, and a lot of it's very, very interesting, and in Deus Ex Human Revolution, you only got a snippet of it, and what I mentioned in the last podcast when we discussed this, one thing that I really wanted to find more out about, and I didn't get a chance to, because the game just didn't offer it, was when people were getting taken from the streets, and people were taking their augmentations and basically just leaving them. Like, they were literally kidnapping people to steal their augmentations, and that was it. That was a whole side of the game which you just didn't really see, but was really, really interesting, but you knew was going on, but you weren't given a chance to explore it. So maybe it's things like that these novels and whatever else they're going to do with it are going to give a chance to open up the world to and explore.
I mean, I did actually pre-order Human Revolution. It was probably one of the very last games I pre-ordered, actually. But it did actually come with a comic book amongst some other bits and pieces as well when it came out. So
seeing some more graphic novels and stuff like that. That'd be good.
From what I read in the comic and stuff, it was very nice, actually. Like, art style very cool. Kind of talked about how I think it was like how he got there or something. How he ended up at.
Yeah, it was his pre-story before the game.
I think
when
so.
He was still just ordinary human, as it were. Yeah. Before he became a security head.
Yeah. Like he was a soldier before, wasn't he, or something? I vaguely remember, but yeah. So, and that was nice to help bridge the gaps and stuff. So, with any luck, we'll carry on with that sort of thing.
There's a thought for There's a thought for the next podcast, Rob. Is that the future of gaming?
Franchise.
Are we going to start seeing proper franchises coming out?
Yeah. That could be an interesting topic for a future podcast. Yeah, that's right.
So why not?
That'd be quite interesting. So, so if you'd like to see that, subscribe and comment on our videos saying that you would like to see that or listen to that. Cool. So, yeah, obviously Deus Ex, quite a big title, I think, coming out in the future. Anyone else got anything else they want to...
Just one, and it's actually, and in all fairness, I don't know if you want to wrap this up sooner rather than later. Sorry, I've got crap all over my screen.
I've definitely got one more game that I want to mention and talk about. I don't know if Ashton does at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Little bit.
Well, I want to just talk really quickly about Watch Dogs 2. And more specifically, why There is a Watch Dogs 2 after the first one tanked. So, does anybody want to jump in and like help me clear the air a little bit with this?
Ubisoft,
Maybe
just
it's
stop it.
Maybe it's Watch Dogs 1 fixed.
That wouldn't for another $60 or 40 quid. That sounds about right, doesn't it?
Yeah, maybe it was just. Oh, sorry guys, it was meant to be Watch Dogs 1.2. Oh.
Yeah.
My bad, guys. That's the number of the patch. You just have to pay for it. But no, obviously, I mean, in all fairness, Watch Dogs did garner quite a lot of hate.
Quite a lot of hate.
I did hear quite a lot of people actually say that they did enjoy it, even if it was literally just for the premise and the kind of setting. And like, apparently, some of the things were like reasonably, I would say well, but reasonably okayly-ish slung together. Yeah. And they said that the story seemed like a solid idea, but they just didn't understand half the crap and why you were doing it. And you could basically you didn't actually have to really move your dude, because you could literally just move from cam to cam to cam to cam to cam to cam. And once you've got the ability to explode barrels and shit, like with the cameras, then the game just became like boring and defunct and repetitive. So obviously, I don't know if it made its money. I don't even think it's made its money back, did it, in the end or something? I vaguely remember reading that at some point. So, I mean, I just don't understand why they're venturing out on a second one when the first one tanked so badly.
I think partly because they know what they did wrong. I kind of think, and it is a very interesting kind of like cool topic kind of thing, and hence the reason why everyone was so hyped up about it. And I think they maybe just redoing it, like thinking this is what we did wrong. Let's fix those things and make a better game. So hopefully that's what they're doing.
I mean, in all fairness, though, Ashton, the argument is that they should have just done it the first time round.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Do we think this one will take as long from announcement to release as the first one did? Because I think Watch Dogs was announced like 5 years before it was released.
Probably not.
Yeah,
something like that.
Probably not. I mean, to be honest, if they're just releasing the second one, like they've got the bare bones of it or whatever. It was next gen, wasn't it? So I mean, if they just release it using the same engine and shit, all they've really got to do is just augment new features and obviously get it all in the story. So if they've got the engine to run it through, they've got it's capable of next gen or this gen, so to speak, or whatever. So
to be perfectly honest, I don't think they can afford to give it a 5-year development because obviously, as we've said, the first one tanked quite badly. Yep. They've got this is their last chance, I think, at this IP. So they either get it right or not at all. So I think they've probably got 2 years maximum, maybe, if they're lucky, to really give this a good shot. I think this is something we probably need to be seeing next year, really, to be released and done, and hopefully a success. Because otherwise...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, in all fairness, Humble, to answer your question, if they're taking another 5 years with it, it'll just be like, do you remember that game that everybody hated 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this is the sequel.
It's the sequel to that game that everybody thought was shit 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So...
True, yeah.
Because they've only still got a small amount of time, because people still remember Watch Dogs, and they've only got a short window of people vaguely holding an interest or knowing what it is, so, yeah.
I mean, the other alternative is that they just go, okay, we're going to take a while, we don't announce it again, and we just reboot and we just get it fucking right.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't really think that's... don't really think that's an option for them, considering how shit the first one was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
They probably can't justify it.
No.
So, if we're good to move on, Ashton.
Speaking of, it's gone nicely into my one. Games that didn't quite go as planned. Titanfall 2. Now it is the first one I really, really like. I've got it, and it is a really good game. It's kind of just like your kind of shooting kind of thing. But it is a very, very fun game. But the thing about it is, it's just missing things. Like you can only use 3 different types of Titans, and there's barely any customization you can do. And of course, it's missing the huge thing, which is what I'm hoping so much for in Titanfall 2, a freaking story mode.
Yeah.
It's all online, and as fun as it is, you want that little extra something else. So
I think that was the problem with Titanfall. It did a few things right, but it fell short on quite a lot of things, which was a shame.
Yeah, and it was a lot of them were little things like just the smallest things, like a little bit of customization on something, even if you could
lick a paint or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it was just those little things that they all added up. Unfortunately, what could have been a great game was just yeah, exactly. But the good thing about Titanfall 2 though is it's now opening up on all platforms. I'm pretty sure, not just Xbox. Yeah.
Oh.
So
I'll get that up on PS4 I guess when I get one.
But yeah, I got high hopes for this one because I think they've realised what people want, and hopefully they'll implement them instead of just making kind of like a COD thing.
I suppose then at E3 it would be nice to actually see all those things before us. More customization to see what they're going to add new to it and. All these different options that will hopefully, because I think it's that's going to gauge the interest, is thinking, oh, hang on, but you're adding lots more stuff to it and all these things, so that makes it look much more interesting than what we had before.
But the question I would ask now, bear in mind, I don't play Titanfall, and as may have become clear, I'm a skeptic about EA.
Really, Humble? What goes
I know it comes as a shock.
I can't imagine why.
But apart from obviously the implementation of a full single-player story campaign or even a multiplayer campaign mode, are any of the things that you as a previous player are wanting things that could just be put in an update or a sort of small like $2.99 DLC that you can just download, or even a free DLC? Is there anything there that is so large? Obviously, ignoring the campaign, because obviously that needs to be a fairly sizable thing. But is there anything else that you're missing that you feel deserves a whole Titanfall 2, or is it something that could just be put in like EA do with their football?
Yeah, game? now you've mentioned this, I'm thinking apart from the story mode, it's literally just all the little things, and there's no absolute big thing that it really needs. I mean, the whole thing about Titanfall 2 is I reckon it's just gonna be like new gear, new abilities and stuff like that. But again, all that could be put in a...
In all fairness, I think different mech suits and stuff is a reasonably large DLC. New Titans is a reasonably large DLC. Yeah. And in all fairness, some people grow loathsome of DLC very, very quickly. I mean, I know for a fact that we're all DLC skeptics here, and especially releasing a new DLC for a game that's already been out for like a year.
2 years.
Yeah. 2 years. I've got absolutely no fucking reference on time at all.
I mean, I'll be honest. As much as I agree with what you've said, Humble, and I think rightfully so. Is this anything that could just be put in a DLC? And as Ashton said, yeah, probably. But I think because I do think it's been out for 2 years now, or just over, or a year and a half, whatever it is. I think that the too much time has gone past for them to be like, actually, we're going to add DLC. So people just don't give a shit anymore. So I think, although, yes, you're completely right, most of what Titanfall needed probably could have been done in DLC, although why it wasn't there in the first fucking place, I've no idea. But I think they need to, at this point in time, it justifies them making a sequel because no one cares.
I think in all fairness, though, Rob, like, in answer to your point, why it wasn't there in the first place, you've got to bear in mind that this was kind of like as the advent of new technology came around, and I mean,
no excuse.
I'm sure if you look at games that came out very early on the Xbox 360 versus the games that we ended up, the difference between Oblivion and Skyrim is astounding. Well, like it's the same hardware.
I want athletic skill back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want athletic skill back actually.
But you know what I mean, like. I think with Titanfall, it's just like they just needed a bit of I think a little bit more time with the new tech and the new engines and the new hardware. And now they've got their head wrapped around it a little bit.
Oh, it always is. Early gen, as you said, Josh, and you're right for saying it. It is. It's always testing.
I've got to give them credit where credit's due, sort of thing.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Guessing bells and whistles with all those new like physicsy bits they can be doing and all that sort of shit, and getting all the particles and all that bollocks, right and like up to standard for next gen. It must have taken its toll. So I reckon it probably does warrant a sequel. And like you said, Rob, it's been nigh on 2 years. Nobody gives a fuck anymore. Like,
but then to bring out to credit where credit's due, and then skepticism where skepticism's due. This is EA.
I personally have no doubt that EA knew that they weren't releasing things in this game that people would want in this game.
Oh no, but then again, that's just
and
practical
they
business.
have deliberately waited for the time to pass to go, well, we can't do a DLC now, let's do another $60 game.
Let's be fair, though. That is how you run your business.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Like,
Because
there's, Ashton's going to buy Titanfall 2.
Yeah,
60
exactly.
quid straight in their pocket, like, you know.
Ashton, you're part of the problem.
Damn it, Ashton.
Sorry.
Yeah, Ashton, part of the machine.
EA sympathiser.
Oh, God.
Sorry, that got Sorry, Ashton.
Oh, God.
Okay,
You're
so I
very
suppose
Firefly all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Like,
I can just see all the flame in the comments.
yeah.
So final one, if that's cool, I guess.
Yeah, go for it.
Before we round things up, a game that I was extremely excited about when I was aware of it being announced on Kickstarter, I think 2 years ago, and I think this game was released last year, and is a game that I've been wanting for forever, but for the life of me, and it is on Mac, so I could get it, but for the life of me, just probably wouldn't run to an acceptable standard, but is finally being released, and to my surprise I might add, on PS4 and Xbox One, and that is Divinity Original Sin, which or Enhanced Edition 2, as it's I think is its full title, for the consoles. But this is a Baldur's Gate style game which was kickstarted very successfully and has done extremely well, and is a game that has co-op in it as well, which is awesome. So it's a game that I've been really excited and wanting to play for ages, and is finally being ported over to the PS4 and Xbox One. So really I'm excited to find out a few more details on that, see what sort of things are going to be available. I'm hoping couch co-op will be available for it, because that will be something that's just going to be awesome to play with someone on the couch, I can imagine, similar to, I suppose, how Diablo 3 is on the consoles. I'm excited to see if they're going to add anything new to it, or what's going to come with it, and generally what the controls are going to be like, because obviously it's a PC game primarily. It's going to be interesting how they swap the controls around and whatnot. So I'm very much looking forward to that. I don't know if anyone else is at all, or anyone else knows about Divinity Original Sin.
No, I've never heard of it, but I'm a big fan of Baldur's Gate, and literally from what you just said, it's got me a little bit excited. So I'll definitely look into it.
It's definitely worth a look. I mean, it's literally it's a new old school CRPG. It's graphically it's really beautiful. There's a lot of things you can do with it. There's a lot of tactics to the game. It's the sort of thing that's very self-aware of itself, I think. So, for example, if you're fighting a bunch of enemies and there's some oil about, it's a good idea if you've got a mage to set that oil on fire. But then again, you could warrant, if someone's playing a fighter, your friend's playing a fighter, for example, and your fighter's near those enemies, you could run the risk of killing your friend and things like that. Even to the point where you can play the game together with someone, and it's really the co-op that I think makes this game stand out quite a lot. You could be talking to an NPC, and they could be like, here's the money for that bounty hunt you did, 200 gold. One of you, say I'm playing with Josh, for example, I could be like, 200 gold, that's more than enough, thank you very much. But Josh might be like, 200 gold, I'm pretty sure we could get 700 gold out of this guy. So you could both want to pick different options, and that's absolutely fine. And the way you sort of work out those what happens is by basically playing rock paper scissors in the game, and you decide that way. So whoever wins, say if Josh won, then we'd go forward with what Josh wanted to do and say, and whether we get the 700 gold really depends on, again, his skills as well. So it could depend on his intimidation and things like that. So it's classic old school CRPG, but modern and updated with some great co-op involved. So I'm really looking forward to it being on console.
Nice.
Yeah, it looks good. I'll definitely look into that.
Yeah, so I'm just wanting to see more on how that's gonna pan out, and hopefully a release date, because I'm not sure when it's released, and I don't know if they've announced the release date, but hopefully it'll be at some point this year, which would be awesome.
Yeah, awesome.
But that was a game that was really successfully kickstarted.
just to clarify something that we spoke about earlier, E3 is on Monday the 15th and Tuesday the 16th of June. Most of the big press conferences, I know Bethesda's is at 2:30 a.m. British time. So.
Late night then, guys. Late night.
Yep.
Woo.
Or early morning, depending.
True. Very early morning indeed. So
Josh has gone silent on us.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I couldn't hear what you said then, Josh.
Really easy to mute this mic. I said optimist or pessimist. That's all I said. It's anything of importance.
Realist.
So, I suppose without further ado, we'll round up the show. If people are okay to move on from E3.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll round up the show with next month, the month of June's releases. So what will be coming out? Who's got releases?
I've got them up.
I've got them as well.
Josh has got them too.
Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you do one each? You share
okay.
it.
Depends on what site Humble's using, because the one that I normally use has crashed. So I'm
I'm using game.co.uk.
I'm on Game Informer, because Game crashed for me because they've changed it around and now it's shit.
Have you got Game Informer up, or?
I've got Game Informer up, but I can get Game up.
No, that's fine. It's whatever. It should be the same dates in the same games.
I normally there's a lot more on Game Informer, but I don't know if they've been moved around.
In that case, I shall go for Game Informer.
So
yeah, generally I've used Game Informer in the past because it's got a few more options.
Yeah, I mean we don't need to mention all of these by the looks of it, but
no.
So I'll start things off with one for the PC.
Cool.
Heroes of the Storm.
Oh yeah, that's got its official release because it's been in beta for about a year now, I think.
June 2nd.
Cool.
So for those of you who don't know, if you like Dota, you like League of Legends, you like Smite, you like any number of games like that, Heroes of the Storm, for those of you who don't know, is basically just imagine if somebody took StarCraft and WoW and one of their other IPs, Diablo, and just kind of shook them all up in a box and then put them in League of Legends together.
It's basically Blizzard's new MOBA for people who don't know, massively online battle arena.
It's Blizzard's new MOBA for people who don't know.
See what you did there.
You want to go, Humble, or
you keep going.
Right, so June 9th, because it doesn't really look like there's anything decent out between then and then, is the release of the Elder Scrolls for the Xbox One and the PS4 on June 9th. So that's finally come in.
I'll be honest, I might look into it because I played the beta for Elder Scrolls Online. I did quite enjoy it, so I might look into it. Plus, it's free now, so
if it's not sub-spaced, yeah, sounds good to me.
It's only like £40 one-off payment.
It's like buying Guild Wars or whatever.
Yeah, same as Guild Wars 2.
Then we've got June 12th. They'll all be done by the time Humble actually gets to June.
Probably.
We've got the little quirky the things, because they love to do them now, because with popular film tie-ins, and obviously this one is Jurassic Park, because that's coming out pretty soon. Is Lego Jurassic Park?
Hey.
The Xbox One, the 360, the PS4, the PS3, the Wii, the Wii U, the 3DS, the Vita, and the PC.
So probably the same Lego stuff that we're pretty much used to, but now with Lego dinosaurs.
Which sounds fucking sick beans to me. Because, there's nothing that you can't improve without the addition of dinosaurs, with the addition of dinosaurs. So Lego and dinosaurs.
Mind blown.
My childhood is complete. That's it.
I've got it up.
Well done. Do you want to go for another one?
Yes.
Did anyone else take that out of context? Humble got it up, ladies and gentlemen.
I got it up, finally. Erectile dysfunction is no longer my problem.
The burden shared.
I'm gonna just get past that. On June 16th is Payday 2, the Crime Wave edition. I'm assuming that's
with DLCs. I'm guessing.
Yeah,
Payday 2 has been out for fucking ages.
It has.
Absolutely ages, and it's on the 360 and the PS4.
Yeah.
No, sorry, the Xbox One and the PS4. We're on next gen.
And I'm gonna skip down one because the next one doesn't seem interesting. Apart from Batman Arkham Knight.
We eventually got there.
That could be very, very good. Everything I've never played them, but everything I've heard about the Batman games is phenomenal.
My god, Arkham Asylum.
Arkham Asylum, yeah.
Oh, what a game. Arkham City I struggled to get into a little bit more, but then again, like, Arkham Asylum feels very claustrophobic-y, comic.
Yeah.
Borderline horror-ish.
Yeah. It was an interesting title.
Arkham City is a bit weird.
I'll be honest, it's one of the best superhero games out there. Like, it literally, you do feel like Batman.
It's amazing. It's very, very, like, stealth-orientated.
To the point where I was playing it, I used to wear a cape as well. But, like, one of the things that really annoyed me about Arkham Asylum was the fact that the bosses, it was all the same technique. It was all the same. Yeah. You did the same thing to beat every single boss, and including the last boss, which annoyed me.
Just having to think, it's been a good couple of years since I've played it.
Roll out of the way, wait for them to hit a wall, jump on them and attack them, and then once they're not dazed anymore, jump out of the way as they charge at you, jump on them, and yeah, it was basically...
Ivy was a bit different, wasn't it?
It was rinse repeat.
There's a couple that are a little bit different, but yeah, most of the time it is that formula.
But Bane, it wasn't a massive gripe, but you know.
Yeah. Well, it's fine because I mean, to be honest, I played the rest. You know, it's just the rest of the game, the boss battles. To it, Killer Croc was very different actually. If you remember that one.
Yeah,
that was the one where he chased you through the sewer. And you had to,
god, that was fear.
Terrifying.
Fear. Literal fear.
Absolutely
running
terrifying,
across
and like
the pallets and hoping not to get eaten.
That was when my cape was literally wet with wee.
Oh man, I pooped myself.
You heard it here first. You heard it here first, folks.
I'll go one. So after that, we got Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition on the next gens and on PC. So yeah, 360. I can't. Fuck. What's the matter with me?
The Expo and the PS4 on the PC.
That's the one.
What's the game?
Devil May Cry 4.
Okay.
Special Edition. So I'm guessing also.
And on what consoles can you play it on?
The 360, the PS3, and Rob's Mac.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
That's fired.
That's hard.
That was a good one, though, in all fairness.
Well, don't congratulate yourself.
Hey, right, ego, calm down. Pipe down there.
Fucking plum.
Oh, it's a dolphin. Jesus Christ. Rob, here's one that might interest you. Final Fantasy 14 is it Heaven's Sword or
Heaven's Ward? Heaven's Ward. That's the expansion to the 14, which is the MMO. Yeah, it is, I guess, to a degree. I mean, I might try out 14 as a free trial on PS4, so I might give it a go. But you know, that's the expansion to really what was originally the biggest fucking mess in video game history, which was Final Fantasy 14. But to be fair to them, they fucking took it down, they redid it, and it's doing really fucking well now.
I feel that you hurt Final Fantasy's feelings there, because did you ever hear of a little thing that just literally crashed the video game industry called E.T., the video game?
Oh, that was awful. That was dire fucking bollical.
But yeah. It was probably a close second, but that's out on the on both the PlayStations and PC.
Yeah. Both the PlayStations and PC. Oh yeah, no, don't worry.
People are still making things for the PS3, Rob.
Yeah, no, don't worry. I was thinking about what about the Xbox, but then I realised.
Oh.
I'm guessing it's a PlayStation exclusive alongside the PC.
Yeah, no, I believe it is.
And then after that, you've got a game called Ride, which I assume is either a motorbike or a car game, which is out on the basically all the consoles this gen and last, and the PC. Okay. And then you've got your usual run-of-the-mill shit of JRPGs on the Vita,
with ridiculous names.
Yeah, so this one,
it's brilliant.
This one is Hyperdimension Neptuna.
Oh my god.
Birth 3 : 5 generation.
I swear to God, every month for the past year there has been a new Hyperdimension Neptunia something or fucking other.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're episodical.
They might be. Wouldn't we look stupid if that was the case?
But they're all fucking shite. I don't even care. Calling it right now.
Just insult every Hyperdimension Neptunia fan ever.
Right, you want to take it up with me? Fight me. I could probably take you if you play those kinds of games. I'm not gonna lie.
Fucking hell, Josh.
I'm a sneak past this guy.
So thank you to listening to the last ever Undead Gaming Cast. Sadly, it's run its course now.
Do you know what you get to do, Rob? Is at the end of like some films, you get the in Anchorman when you get like Ron Burgundy was like this, Rick was blah 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 blah. You just get Josh was lynched shortly after the release of this podcast.
Well, they won't lynch you. They're JRPG fans. They'll just sit there and cry.
Ooh, Humble's joining me on the lynching.
No, he's already can get screwed by the EA fans, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm fucked up. I'm fucked. Yeah.
They're just gonna play ping pong with him. We've got another one called J-Star's Victory VS Plus, which is coming out on both basically all the PlayStation systems that are out at the moment, Vita 3 and 4, and then we've also got Dynasty Warriors, but a slightly different one, which is Samurai Warriors. So I'm guessing that's a bit of an airbrushing because you get Dynasty Warriors Empires, you've got Samurai Warriors Chronicles. So I presume that that's just the Empire's equivalent of Samurai Warriors.
Cool.
But yeah, that's it. That's the lot.
Okay. Well, exciting month, I suppose, for some people.
You're a JRPG fan.
Especially you JRPG fans, you get another Hyperdimension Neptunia.
No, Rob, you've got to give it its full title. Hyperdimension Neptunia Birth 3:5 generation.
Oh, Japan, just stop.
Stop it.
Just stop it, Japan.
No, in fairness, and I say this as a linguist, as a factual point, in Japan, that's probably like 3 symbols.
Yeah.
In fairness, it's probably not a long title to them.
Yeah, well, thanks for using Google Translate for us, Japan, to title your games.
I'm reasonably sure the same person who named this game is the same person who did the Resident Evil 4 port for the 360. It's like you had one job, man. You had one job.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, dear.
Okay, well... Well, that brings us to the end of the Undead Gaming Cast episode 11. I do hope you have enjoyed watching or listening and whatever you've been doing for this month. So thank you so much for watching, and thank you to everyone who has joined us today. Thank you guys for coming along. Thank you to Naz as well, who only sadly briefly joined us, really probably you could argue, to tell us that he played Final Fantasy X then pissed off, which was probably the reason to go play more Final Fantasy X. So
someone was meant to be doing.
So yes, definitely go check him out on TalkPlay on YouTube and Naz_Dragonheart on Twitter, where he says lots of things, mainly about Final Fantasy X at the moment. But before we really say goodbye, I suppose it's safe to say, Ashton, what are you going to be playing this month? Sadly, Ashton's not a YouTuber or streamer, but he certainly is a player of the games, otherwise he wouldn't be here. So what are you planning on playing this month, sir?
I honestly think I'm going to be playing Witcher for the rest of this month.
For the rest of my life.
For the rest of this generation.
Yeah. The thing is, I need to give some of my other games some love. I've neglected a lot of games, so I might pop back to the other ones, but I'm going to be playing a lot of Witcher.
And now we're finally done with uni. We got time. Yay!
Woo!
Yeah, I'm done forever.
Cool. I take it you're still not on Twitter, Ashton?
No.
Okay, that's fine. Don't worry about it. So instead, send your angry letters to MintyLamb Gaming. Son
of a bitch.
Minty, what are you going to be playing this month, and what's coming up on your channels, or what are you planning on streaming, or what's going on, and where can we find you, essentially?
Well, you can find me either on Facebook at facebook.com/MintyLamb Gaming, or on the Twitter, which is twitter.com/MarkVentrum. Or you can go and watch me on the Twitch, which is Twitch TV/MintyLamb.
Yeah. So
I'm on all 3 of them. Yeah. Totally don't have the page open in front of me to be able to read that. All right. And you can see, content-wise, I shall be probably some more State of Decay. some, well, pretty much anything zombie related, which is already on my channel. I'll be doing some more of them.
Really, you should be called the Undead Gamer.
yeah. Or maybe Zombie Lamb. Yeah, so it'll probably be State of Decay. I'm going to do some more Plague Inc. We'll also do some Dead Rising 3 because I fucking love that game. It's so much fun.
So basically, if you're interested in death and rotting flesh,
yes, probably some. I'm going to start up a new one again, another one, because I haven't got enough, which I haven't already finished yet. Of some How to Survive, the game I downloaded the other day, which is quite fun. Other than that, we probably won't do enough for another week or so because I'm going away on holiday, so you have to wait.
Cool. Well, enjoy your holiday.
I shall.
Awesome.
Anywhere nice?
So
I go to Greece.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Lovely. A bit of sun, sand, and stuff.
Free cocktails.
Damn straight.
Nice.
All inclusive.
All the win. All the win. So, Humble, what are you going to be up to? What are you playing? And what's coming on your channels? And where can we find you and stuff?
You can find me at Humble Gamer News on Twitter, youtube.com/HumbleGamer, and facebook.com/HumbleGamer. YouTube is youtube.com/HumbleGamerTube. I should really get that right since it's mine. And twitch.tv/HumbleGamerTwitch. There will be a live stream coming up. I don't know when. What I'll be playing most of this month will be, you'll be getting on the channel, you'll be getting Alien Isolation, you'll be getting some more War Thunder, more Robocraft, also the Guns of Icarus stuff I've done beforehand. Hopefully if Rob, you and Josh and Minty, if you play Guns of Icarus, and Ashton of course as well, since you've got it, I'll put it in the Facebook group if ever you guys are free. We'll definitely get some recording done. You'll also be seeing Minecraft Series 3 coming out finally. That'll be
literally the only Minecraft series on YouTube, apart from Minty's, that I actually watch.
And Naz's.
Nice save. Yeah.
Nice save.
Well done. And the start of an exciting new series for me, the first time ever. Myself and Claire, Rob and Josh will certainly Rob will remember this. I don't know if Josh you actually watched it. We did a YouTube shout out where we built everyone. In Spore,
yeah.
Based on their YouTube or Twitter handles. And the Undergamer, you had yours as your profile picture for a while.
I did. It was awesome, yeah.
But me and Claire are now actually playing through Spore as an actual Let's Play, so that'll be coming up.
Awesome, looking forward to that.
At the end of this month, so yeah. Cool.
Brilliant. So, Josh, what are you up to this month? What are you playing? What's coming on your channels? And where can we find you and stuff and things?
Right, so obviously finished my Magic Let's Play, so I'm starting my new Let's Play, which is Resident Evil 4, which the first one should be up, it should have come up, I don't know when you're planning to upload this, Rob, but it'll probably come out on a Monday or a Friday, because that's generally when my videos come out. The other day is undecided and will most likely be Plants vs Zombies, just as a multiplayer. With any luck, and we probably do need to get a move on considering time frames and me leaving university. Oh my god, my Xbox is going mental because I keep on accidentally turning it on because it's touch screen and I keep on knocking my knee against it.
Play me.
Plants vs Zombies is just like no, so with any luck, because I'm obviously leaving because I've finished my degree, me and Rob will be completing our little bit of Monaco. And aside from that, keep an eye out for vlogs and also probably a tournament report because I'm going LARPing this week, and me and Rob did a video beforehand about our hobby of LARPs and stuff, and I think that's it. So you can find me at Facebook/Singularity Games. You can find me on Twitter as SingularityJosh, and I joked about Rob with this earlier, but because I'm too late to the YouTube party, I don't have a custom URL, so find me on whatever Rob links you on. Pretty much. Cool. And I don't stream because it's literally the worst thing ever, so but that's it.
Cool. So as for my sweet little self, I don't know why I described myself that way. That was weird. I feel dirty now. So I'll probably be playing more Far Cry 4 before it annoys me to hell. I'm really so tempted to pick up The Witcher 3, so that might accidentally happen. I don't know yet. But as for the channel, definitely this month's going to be a dodgy one because I'm going to be kind of hopefully moving at some point this month and stuff and things are happening. So, but I'm going to be continuing on with the usual content. So Dead Space, Shadows of Mordor. I've got lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of gaming vlogs and things like that in my headspace that are hopefully coming out, but I just don't know when. Hopefully you'll get to see a few of those this month if you're lucky. Hopefully by the end of next month or this month I can be getting back into live streaming as well a bit more regularly than usual. So yeah, hopefully all that to come. And obviously if you're already watching me on, or if you're already watching this on YouTube, then hello, here's my channel. But if you're listening, then you can find me on youtube.com/theundeadgamer. If you're wanting to follow me on Twitter to hear my opinions and things, or hate me, you can find me at The Undead Gamer, or you can follow me on the Facebooks with facebook.com/The Undead Gamer. It's pretty much The Undead Gamer anything. If you type The Undead Gamer in, you'll probably find me in some format or another.
There's no E in the gamer.
True.
I always say that.
There is no E in the gamer. Gamer without an E, because I'm illiterate. And Undead, what can I say? It's my fingers. They don't write properly. So yes, that is pretty much it. So thank you guys very much for coming on and joining us on the UndeadGamingCast, and thank you guys so much for listening or watching or whatever it is you were doing. I hope you enjoyed this month of our talking about pre-E3, and hopefully next month June, when E3 has happened, and it'll be very exciting and stuff, and we get to talk about what was announced, what we were happy about, what we were disappointed at, and probably hate on E3 and Ubisoft more, because that's what we pretty much do every month. So, without further ado, I've been Rob the Undead Gamer. Thank you guys so much for watching or listening, and we will catch you next month. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.